synonym?
What's a cinnamon for?
Yellow fruit. Upside down cake. Dude, I'm a huge pineapple upside down cake guy.
Yeah, that shit's banging.
I haven't had one in like a while. I've been having some weird foods at these DJ gigs though. Like it depending on the genre of or the nationality of the.
Yeah.
But
I feel like you should do a Hawaiian DJing, cause then
I'd love to. I mean, they just have to set it all up. I'll just pull up with the shit.
Dude, that'd be fine.
If you guys are ready, I'm ready.
Dude,
I've been recording for like a minute, but let's get it.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's get after it, bro.
Let's go.
I just want to say that, dude, I'm stoked that we're not on what was the other podcast called?
Oh, Millennial Mind.
Yes. I'm stoked that we're on BOPCAST now.
Yeah, I mean, partially because of you guys. I think.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was funny.
that was really the inspiration. I mean, like I knew that I wanted to call it that, but when you guys backed it up, I was like,
because afterwards we saw it and I sent it to Stefano, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, he's on BOPCAST now. Because I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
I mean, I might as well keep the branding, consistent, right?
Dude, Bebop, don't stop.
That's my motto now. God, you guys, I gotta stop having. I gotta just have you guys live here or something.
Honestly, bro, I'm good with a couch.
All right.
I'm good with the floor. You can have the couch.
All right, sweet, perfect.
Once Nick's asleep, there's no way waking him up.
Oh my God. This is so funny.
It's actually pretty bad.
It is bad. It can be an earthquake, and Nick will just sleep right through it.
Yeah, probably. I'd probably just have a wild dream. Yeah, I remember my dreams a lot. Like, I have real crazy, vivid dreams. I write all my dreams down.
See, I think this Remember November thing is going to really... I don't have dreams, so I think I'm going to have dreams this month.
I have nutty dreams.
Or I just don't remember them.
And also, when you dream, like, before you go to bed, like, you have do like different things, so your mind, once you're in a dream, can say that am I dreaming or am I really here? So it's like touch your palm with your finger, and if your finger doesn't go through your palm, you go, oh, I'm not in a dream right now. And then like be like something simple like, oh, if I snap my fingers right now, the lights will turn off, and you do it and you go, oh, I'm not in a dream right now.
I can't even control my dreams to that extent.
Well,
so you're saying do this consciously before you go to bed?
Yeah.
So then when you do, you're going to do the same thing, and then your finger is going to go through your hand.
Truthfully, I've never had that happen. I've never actually been...
Well, it's like you're trying to lucid dream, basically, right?
Well,
that's what lucid dreaming is.
See,
controlling your dreams.
I've done that since...
I've done a little bit, but not much.
I've done that since I was a kid. Like, I was super nasty at it.
Wow, yeah.
Like, I have, like...
No, some people can just do it.
Dreams. And it's like, I'll be in there, and I'm like, yo, like, I'm here. What's up? Like, let's do this. And sometimes they're like real scary dreams, and I'm like, yo, I know I'm in a dream, but like we're gonna have to fight right now. And it's like, yeah, but it's like super scary, and then whatever it is like overtakes you, and you're like, oh my gosh, right? But those are like scary like demon dreams.
Any dream I have, like it's always like 5 minutes before I wake up, and then like, right when the good part happens, I'm like,
well, that's like him. You're in REM sleep. There's different forms of sleep. So
they're actually discovering like different things about like how REM isn't even the most important stage now, when they thought it was. It's like stage 2 or some shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. That's why when they say that the best nap you can have is 26 minutes, because it's just before you go into deep sleep.
That's it.
If you wake up
stage 1,
from
I think,
deep sleep, then you're gonna be more tired.
Or wake up in deep sleep, right? Yeah. Like without completing that deep sleep cycle, because your body, I think it's like 5, right? I think it's like 1, 2, REM, 4, 5, and then back to 1 or something. I remember from psych a little bit, but I was kind of
all I really
not paying
know
attention.
is it's light, it's REM sleep, rapid eye movement.
Yes.
It's REM sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep, deep sleep, all night.
And I think that breaks down to like the other, like smaller ones.
Yeah.
Matthew Walker episode of Joe Rogan. He's a sleep expert. It blew my mind. Like that's where I was. Like we were talking before about how like even one beer can affect your sleep completely. Like you don't even have to feel anything. You know, literally anything you take.
Even when I was drinking, I mean, I used to have nutty dreams too. But I don't know. I just always.
Well, it affects the quality, I guess I'm saying.
Yeah. Even like melatonin.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Apparently, like they make you have wild dreams. But
Or it's like if you eat chocolate before. but it's because your mind, you've given so much energy that your mind is still like being used. Like if you eat chocolate or like something before bed, like that energy is flowing through you because you're still on that like high.
That's me. I used to eat a lot of chocolate before bed.
Then you're gonna have crazy.
Like actually,
you're so stimulated, but it's like, I guess it really depends. Like each person's different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But that makes sense. I mean, sugar. Fuck. I mean, is that shit? That shit can't be good before.
But I'm telling you, the cool thing is like once you do your November, it's like, dude, like. Obviously, it's different for different people. This whole thing, I just started doing like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Just because somebody was like, I just watched.
Might as well try it. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. It's
a cool thing. If it
even when I was younger, like before that, it's like when you go, yo, I'm in a dream right now. This is sick. You can literally, it's just, you're like in the Matrix.
Smilo says he does that all the time.
Yeah, it's fire.
I'm pretty sure he says he's like lucid dreamt and shit like pretty viciously.
I believe it.
I've never really done it. I've only, like you said, woken up at the
It's really cool.
And been fucked. Like, why am I here at the end and now I'm gonna die? I won't die and then I'll just wake up.
Yeah.
I at least want to see myself fall off the cliff.
Right. When you were like looking through it. So another thing I just started too was every time you have a dream, write it down as soon as you wake up, and then title it. So once you title it,
I will do this month.
You're always gonna remember what that dream was. Like I could actually tell you like different dreams that I had, like so vividly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, I'll tell you this one because it's mad funny. It sounds like Smilo's up or somebody above us is up.
I hope Smilo's up. He should pull up. I'll let him get a little couple minutes.
So
on
one
the
of
mic.
the dreams I had was I was sitting down in a chair in my apartment in Hawaii, right? My apartment was so sick, but it was mad small. It was like smaller than this room.
Didn't matter though. You're in Hawaii.
Nah, dude, screw it. I don't care. And it had everything I needed, right? So I'm playing Xbox with, and it's like, so I'm playing FIFA, but for some reason, this FIFA had it so like me and Stefano could play, and we could link up our seasons account. So like we're playing computers, but like if he wins games, then you get points, or if I win games, whatever. And so you can compete with each other. So I'm playing against my friend Edward. Me and Edward have a season, right? And it was literally the funniest thing ever. It was awesome. It was such a sick dream. And so it was the last game. Edward finished up his game. He finished his season, right? And he's in first place on the table, right? I'm right behind him. I'm right behind him with neck and neck. And so I'm on the phone with him. Like I have him on speakerphone because he's driving in the car somewhere. And I'm there. Like I'm actually in the stream. I'm all in. And, like, I can see Edward, like, so perfectly, everything like that. And so then we are joking around so much. I score a goal, right? So the thing is, me and Edward are tied in points. But I have to win this game to become tied.
I love this detail of this game.
Dude, I have to win this game in order to be tied with him, point-wise. But he has 4 goals over me. So if I win, I need 5 goals or else
to make up
wins
for it
this season. Yeah. And so I score a goal. And I'm trash talking him so much. We're joking back and forth. And then I score a second goal. And then as I score a second goal, my door is open in my apartment, like to the hallway, because there's only 2 apartments on that hallway. And the elevator opens, and it's Andre, his brother, and 2 of his friends, and then some girl. I guess they're all just friends or whatever. They came to come visit me in Hawaii. Because I told them, if any of you guys want to come, I got a place. Just pull up. Dude, if you can get a ticket, I got a place from you. And so he comes up, and they sit down on the bed, and Andre's standing next to me. He's talking to Edward on the phone now, on speaker. And I'm like, yo, I got to smack him. I need 3 more goals. And I score a 3rd one. Me and Andre are going nuts. And then I'm trash talking Edward so bad. I score the 4th goal, and now I'm pissing myself laughing. And I scored the 5th goal in the 89th minute. 89th minute. I'm on the phone with him. I'm dying. I'm trash talking him so bad. Me and Andre are going nuts.
He's probably so bad.
Game's over, right? So it's 5-0. I go, yo, Edward, I just scored 5 goals.
What's up?
He's like half dying laughing, but half pissed, right? So
the gamer pissed of like,
he goes, yo, check the table. And same amount of wins, same loss. We have all the same points. I beat him by 1 goal differential. I beat him by 1 goal. And I went, sir. I was laughing, trash talking him so hard. And then me and Andre were dying. And then afterwards, we talked for a little bit. And then I hung up the phone. Because now I'm like, yo, I'm going to hang out with Andre. And everybody. I'm like, yo, Andre's here. And then we're dying. They're sitting on the bed. And then I walk over to my window. I'm a 15-minute ride to the beach in Hawaii, right? I have these beautiful trees. I have this one window that's kind of next to my closet. My bed looks awesome. It's this beautiful white bed in the corner. Dude, everything's vivid. And then after that, I woke up. And that day, I bought an Xbox One. Because to me, it was... Recent. Yeah, that's literally... I texted them in the morning, yo, guys, should I get an Xbox One?
No, this is the most important part of this whole thing. And then you made a conscious effort because of your dream to go purchase something.
And
because
5
I think
hours later, I went and bought an Xbox.
Do you think your like subconscious wanted you to buy an Xbox?
Well, see,
play games or something?
That's literally the whole segue I was getting at. Is
you were always borderline with that too.
I always talked about it. I had this dream, and then I finally.
Yeah. Dude, oh my god, that's me. That's fucking me, dude. Like I didn't buy. I was like always a gamer, like always for a long time until like halfway through high school. And it was like it was like the same thing. If I have a sign to like buy, if I have a means to buy one, then I'll buy one. But I don't need it.
Well, it's like, so the reason why the dream was telling me, it doesn't matter where in the world we are. He's in Brigantine, it's an hour and 30 minutes away. I could be in Hawaii. This is my way for us to bond. You know what I mean? Like, we're all so busy. We're getting busier. If I just play even for like a couple, I play every Friday with Andre and Edward, and that's our bonding time.
You're so right, man. That's so crazy.
You know what I mean?
That's all it was though. For me, that's all it was in the beginning. Like I didn't play games because I wanted to play. I was terrible at all video games, basically, except NBA a little bit. You can look me up on YouTube, NBA 2K13.
Okay. Right.
You know, you can watch the video. It's funny. And I release gaming videos and stuff like that, but I was on there. Like, my parents knew I was on there to talk to everybody because that's all I did. All they heard me was screaming and yelling at my friends. Like, I would literally, they would go play a game, and there would be times where I would just stay on the mic for an hour and just hang out just so I could talk to them. Like,
yeah, because that's the thing is, like you said, everybody's I mean, we used to love playing all different kinds of games.
Yeah, dude. I spent years, man. Like,
yeah, for sure.
After soccer practice, we would just be
after soccer practice.
you guys hopping on Xbox?
Yeah.
Go home, shower, hop right on the car.
Dude, yeah. The winter. I love the snow days when you wake up, like there's no school, you open the blinds, it's snowing, there's like 6 inches on the ground, and then like you like text the boys and like everyone's on. And then like, all right, and then 2 hours later, all right guys, I gotta go like, you know, build a snowman or some shit or shovel the driveway. But like those mornings were like, you can't get better than Modern Warfare 2 on a snowy morning.
Dude.
Come on.
Say last, bro.
Right?
Oh my gosh. And it's like the one thing you were saying is everything in your dream has some kind of meaning. So it's like you have to decipher, okay, what is your subconscious trying to tell you? Mm-hmm. So it's like if you say to yourself, okay, why was there a gray target in my white dream, right, with you on it? Maybe it's because at that time, your goals were only in a gray area, and it was saying you have to get certain about what you want. Do you know what I'm saying?
I never even thought about it like that, so I like that.
You have to look at each aspect and say,
I'm bad at that.
Why
I have to get better
was
at that.
There?
Yeah.
So it's like, because your brain's so stimulated, it's saying, like, it does so much more than we could ever
I felt
fathom.
People don't know the context to this, and like there's some context that I really can't talk about with this story, but regardless of that, like I basically was in a position where like I felt something that I've never felt before. Like my brain like released something that I don't know what that feeling is. I can never replicate it. And I was in a space and I blacked out. So I was in a space just so I could just so people understand.
Yeah,
like,
it was
what
almost
we're
like a
talking
reboot.
about. Yeah, so I basically blacked out. And I was in a white area, and it was just all white. And my life flashed before my eyes when I blacked out before that. So that this happened again, but it was more pronounced. Like I saw every memory that I've ever had, like for sure, in like 5 seconds, and it doesn't seem possible, but I did. And then, this is just anecdotally from so take it however you will. But there was that, and then I saw a gray target, like you were talking about, with a dot in the middle, and then it said YOU. It said you, and then that's when my roommate kind of pulled me out of the blackout. But so that's so interesting that you I took that as you. It was just telling me it's me, that I'm here, that I'm good, that I can come out of it. Whereas you're seeing the gray, you're seeing the color, and you're ascribing
it's more context
to the color, which I never thought to do.
Like growing up, this might sound super silly, but I never really, like in reading, right? You'd read over it, but I never really cared about the context, like how it's used. But now, I use context clues. I think, like, you can do anything you want, literally, just by using context clues. Like, if you see the way somebody's doing something, or you see what's set up, or what's going to unfold, you can say, okay, this is going to happen if that happens. You know what I mean? Like,
are you saying in the context of life, or are you saying just like in reading a book, or like what? I'm just wondering like specifics. I know what you're saying.
Like mostly more so in life.
Yeah.
But
well, you can almost
context
predict.
Is great in books. But
Yes. No.
you know what I mean?
Context is everything though, because you can pull a clip out of this podcast and like have it say something a lot differently than if you pulled the last 15 seconds before that.
Yeah.
So
also,
in life is the same thing. You can walk into a conversation, somebody's saying something, and you're like, "Dude, you should go to jail." It's like, well, you didn't hear that. It was like my brother's fucking friend is a comedian or some shit. Like,
So, and you have to kind of like.
Is that kind of what you're like saying?
Yeah,
or
like dude, I'm terrible to watch movies with. Because like I start watching it and then like I analyze it and I go, yo, this is what's gonna happen next.
Yes.
And then like,
and then you're like, dude,
yeah, and I've never seen it before. And then like it gets to it and it happens and I'm like, yo, I feel like trash because I just.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? So I like jumped the gun, but, yeah, sorry.
No, you're good, man. I honestly, I love this conversation. If I could expound, or I don't know, if I could transition, I just had something I wanted to talk about specifically with you.
Paul Blart me. Segway.
Got you. Oh my god, that was good, man. I'm gonna use that now.
I'm a big Segway guy.
I'm gonna use that. I am so gonna use that now. Yeah. Remember when people thought that like everybody's gonna have Segways? Every mall in America, people are just gonna be riding on fuck.
Well, they did for a point. They had the hoverboards.
Yeah, but they never had them so you could rent them out. I was on the boardwalk, and with Smilo, I think, and there was a kid, like a 6-year-old kid, on one of those hoverboards.
Dude, he was probably fire.
30 miles, fucking, literally no emotion,
just chilling,
just flowing, dude. Wee, right behind shit. Yeah. Crazy, those motherfuckers.
Dude, you know
it's like them on skis. Put them on skis, double black diamonds. They don't give a shit. They could fall down the whole mountain. Just what's up?
Because they're so resilient.
So resilient, dude.
Push your shoulders up.
Yeah.
Dude, one thing I was thinking about is so you know, like a lot of the kids now, they're always like on their phones like immediately because they're born into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I mean, we had that kind of little gap where we had like slide.
We're the transition period. We're the full transition.
Now kids are born with iPads.
But I think the one thing that kind of came to me that's almost like not counterproductive, but I don't know what the proper word is. But I see this Volvo XC90 driving past me, and in the back there's an iPad on the back of the seat. Right? Mm-hmm. So, like, that's become the common norm where it's like, here, just give your kid your iPad or whatever like that, and they play on it.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes people are like, yo, I just don't want to deal with it. Here's a distraction. But the thing that I'm thinking is like, when you're a kid, you spend a lot of time when you're driving looking out the window. Mm-hmm. And then it forces you to use your brain, your imagination, and stuff like that. Whereas if you're playing a video game, right? If you're playing Call of Duty, how much imagination are you using? Like
it's all there for you
exactly.
already.
It's just like you have to.
It's
build
made
up
for
the
you.
steps.
Yes.
Exactly.
And see, that's why like Minecraft is good and things like that.
I love Minecraft.
Yes, no,
I
so addicted to
because
that
I was
game.
a huge
The
Lego
worlds.
guy.
I had my own
Huge
server.
Lego guy.
Okay, me too. Yeah, I like Legos too.
think all kids should play
I didn't
Legos.
like. It was weird. I was weird. I didn't like to build things with Legos that were just random things. I wanted to get a set. That's why I became a mechanic, I think, because I liked to see what's the end goal. You know, I'm an end goal
Where
person.
it's like,
And then put it together. I want to
would
build the house.
Take the set, and I would make what I wanted out of the set.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm the type A. I'm the type A person. So I put that house together perfectly.
Well, no, I would follow the guidelines and then just destroy it and then build whatever.
Gotcha. See, there's 3 different people right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was a Minecraft bully.
Yeah, you're the worst.
I was a Minecraft
You just blowing
bully.
people's shit up.
No.
Just killing people.
Well, yeah, but
Like, so I always made sure I had the server.
Oh, see, me too. Me too. I did have a
Because
server.
I
yeah.
wanted the control.
Mhm.
See, growing up, my biggest thing was significance, but I didn't realize it. And so
Oh, that's we can go into that.
yeah. So I always wanted like to be in charge, right? I was always, I guess, a lead kind of guy,
yeah.
and
hate
which
when they
was
make this server go.
good but bad at the same time.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
Because it's like I kept everything in control, but
Mhm.
then when I got bored, like I took advantage of it. So it was like kind of messed up. Like I used to take away his privileges and then
I'd be
dig a
grinding
big
for
hole,
hours,
and then I would pour lava on him,
Oh my god.
just like nutty stuff like that. But then again,
So you're like an emperor, basically.
yeah, but that's when I was
Just get bored
that's
and
when I
just
was
say,
a
"Fuck
bad
the
leader.
Gentiles. Let's just
That's when I was a bad
destroy
leader.
their things."
Yeah, but no, never their things really. Cole used to do that. Cole used to kind of burn stuff, right? Your
No.
forest.
No, I'm pretty sure that was just you.
Oh, all right. Yeah, it might have just been me.
Cole would just overpopulate everything.
Oh
and,
my
like,
God.
Ruin the
Oh,
server.
yeah, true. Too many animals.
Do you? Let me go get real. Do you like control? Like, is that?
No, back then I used to. I did a lot more then. Now, I'm kind of just.
I like control.
I'm kind of just Nick.
Like me
Like-
control, not like control other people, but
So you know how you said like, for you, a lot of the Tony Robbins stuff is too rah rah,
Mhm.
right? So I went to one of his seminars, which was, dude, 40 hours. It was fire.
dude, I can't. I would love. I would
was
love
nuts.
to, man.
And so I think one of the most life-changing things that I went through, which I literally talked to everybody about it, is they explain the human needs,
Mhm.
right? So 4 predominant, like human ones, and then 2 spirituals, right? So it's certainty, which is you need to know what's happening with the house. Uncertainty, whereas you need adventure, like variety, okay? Significance, love, and connection. Those are the 4 primal needs.
Mhm.
And then there's 2 spiritual ones, which is contribution and dude, it's slipping out of my head. Contribution and growth. Right? So at every time in your life, there's 2 of those needs that dominate your life. Every decision you make is based off those 2 needs because that's your driving factor. So when I was a kid, it was significance and uncertainty, hands down. I always felt like I needed to be in charge, stuff like that. But it's like, after like going through it, which was really a struggle because like you want to write down the guidance counselor answer, oh, I'm contribution and growth. But the truth is that's not the truth.
Nope.
And so like coming
Even
face to
if you
face
want it
with
to
that,
be, yeah, it doesn't.
exactly. It was like
It's not
why
up to
was
you,
I doing
really.
things.
Yeah.
But you can pinpoint it. And so then I had to change it from certainty and love and connection. Right? But now you have
Change
to make
it?
a conscious effort. Yeah.
Consciously.
At any moment you can change it.
Mhm.
And you can say, okay, how am I doing things? And so it's like over time you just kind of work on different ones that fit best for you. And it's like you really have to figure out which are your 2 driving factors. Like if you always need to know what's going to happen next, you
That's me.
might hold yourself back from different things instead of taking a jump.
See, that's yeah. I'm like really a controlled person. Like I just like, I think I can kind of control everything and like kind of steer the direction. Like if I want something, I could probably get it. Like and just find the way.
Yeah.
And so like
but you
that.
don't like not knowing that you possibly can't not.
Yeah, I don't want to have like it would be counterintuitive to my bottom line to think I don't have the control to make something happen. In my head, that's just how I am. I believe in the things you just said. I think this is a good transition to, did that inspire you to do kind of what you're doing with your seminars? Like, can we like talk about that? You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what you call them. I forget.
Yeah, sure.
Like, what was the Tony Robbins before you started doing those, or what was the transition? Did you make a life change and then say, oh, I want to do this for other people? I got to stop talking.
No, that's fine. Dude, you're good. So, like I said, it was always significant. I always felt like I had to be in charge. I felt like somebody had to do it, and that was going to be me. And so, like, it was to the point where it was too dominant. Like, I remember one time, me and Andre, we were at a soccer party, right? And me and him, it was always, like, me and him. It was my friend Cole and Edward. It was his twin, and then it was, like, always me and Andre. And everybody was wrestling, right? And when I get violent, I get too carried away, right? Because I was so driven by it. So, like, we were wrestling, but I was, like, too much. Like, I was, like, we were, like, going in, but it was, like, to the point where it was, like, all right, this is too much.
Like, it was getting real. Like, it wasn't just messing around.
Yeah. And then after that, that was really the breaking point where I said, oh, my gosh, I'm never going to do this again. Yeah. I was like, that was way too much.
Wow.
And, but that was when I was young. So I let off of it. I never did anything violent like that. Oh, I don't care enough for it. And, what's it called? So later on in life, I was kind of super lost, not really figuring out what I wanted to do. And then one day I was in a super dark patch, right? But the kind of dark patch where, like, everybody else thinks you're super good, but, like,
that's the, like, worst dark path
to
be in.
Because it's like, I don't ever express really emotion because I'm like, yo, I can handle this. And so I was at a super low patch.
But inside you're just...
Dude, I'm fucking so there, dude.
Super low patch.
And I think everybody goes through something like that, but yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And I sat up, right? Because I was laying on my bed listening to my vinyl. Dude, it was an amazing experience. I will never forget it. And I sat up and I said, what the fuck are you doing? I said, this isn't Nick. I said, this isn't you. And I said, from now on, you're living a life of positivity and adventure. And I owned it. And from there, it started changing. I changed my entire dynamic, my entire mindset. And that's after, like, junior year where I kind of, like, was like, yo, just positivity is truly the answer. Yeah. And, like, from there.
I remember that transition. I really did.
That was a big transition.
That was a huge transition for you. I remember.
So you can speak to that, right, of what you, like, kind of saw it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Nick went through, like that whole year span, you changed so, like, more positively. You were all, like, anytime anyone would say anything, Nick would always point out, like, no, that's a good thing. Like, always point out, like, the good stuff and everything. It was like, who are you?
So for you, I think it's just important to note that of, like, it wasn't just your projection, like, it changed your complete projection of how you interact.
Yeah,
with everybody and your friends.
It didn't just impact him.
Exactly.
All of us.
Exactly.
Like,
there you go. That's what I was getting at.
It was like 0 to 100. It was like going from concealed, because I always did enough where it's like I would always be me, like, around my friends, but, like, I always kind of was, like, a little leery. Like, I held myself back, like, in a lot of ways. But then it was like 0 to 100. It was like, all right, let's enjoy what I have.
But it was a moment, basically, for you, though, right?
It was an instant.
Yeah, of a conscious, because I'm so, like, I love asking that. I ask everybody that question, like, when did you know you were going to be a professional guitarist? Was it a moment? Wasn't the last guy I had on, you know? Was it a moment? Was it your entire life? Like, I'm so curious of the transitions people have, because sometimes it's this, and other times it's 10 years.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. But it's 10 years to lead you to that one moment.
Yes, that's true, too, because it's, like, the professional thing of, like, when you pay that guitarist, you're paying him for 10,000 hours of work, of practice.
I think even if you do, like,
not just for the performance,
work, unless you make the conscious effort to say, hey, this is it, like, then you begin.
Yeah. Do you think you have to go through, like, something tragic or, like, a bad time in order to get to that point? Like,
no.
Or it can just stimulate out of nowhere.
And I think that's why I started doing the seminars, was because when I went to that 40-hour thing. It was 13,000 people, right? Which was nuts. It was sold out. The energy was literally crazy. And the last day they had Pitbull perform.
No way.
So it was dude, it was nuts.
Oh my god.
And it's like you see people every age, every size. Dude, this one lady I met was trying to decide whether she should pick like these 2 other really high performing jobs or start her own practice for like $500,000 a year. And so it like, and I was there, right, with like money I saved up with. Do you know what I mean? Like to her it might be it's a drop in a bucket, but to me I saved up. So it's like you had every single person there from like all
the spectrum, yeah.
And it was 80 different countries of people there. Wow. Like I met this kid, Esh, who's a beast, and he actually
Shout out
was a
to
drug
Esh.
addict. Yeah, he was a drug addict, and he lives in India, and so I still talk to him. I still connect with him,
Wow.
and it's like seeing that everybody has literally so much potential, but it's like unless you realize or like have that ability to go to something like that, you might just like overlook it.
There is a lot of people. Like I've worked with a lot of people that I can see that they have so much in them. They can do so much more, but they're so content with like their lives and they're so miserable about it. They're like, oh, I can't do anything. It's like, yeah, you can. Just
And
wake
there's-
up and start doing it. It requires work, but your life will be so much better off. And rather than doing the day to day that you're doing now, you're just going to keep continually being miserable. Your life is not going to change unless you change it first. You know, so.
And there's so many people that live lives so simply and they're so happy. Like there's so, like
That's
the
okay
Gary
too,
Vee
yeah.
shit of like people who make $40,000 who are just like happy as fuck, dude. And then people who make $1 million who just hate their lives. Like this is just this is the thing that, you know, you read online every day of like money doesn't make you happy shit, right? But it can, but
Depends what you do with it.
true. But
That's
there's
the
just
difference.
it doesn't. And I brought money and we weren't talking about that.
That's
but
all right because
yeah.
it's like it's almost something you have to look at because you can't overlook it. You know what I
yes,
mean? Like,
money can't buy you happiness, but zero money can't buy you anything.
Yeah,
and it's like,
it's like fun coupons.
yeah, figuring
Monopoly money.
Yeah. Figuring out how you can, you know, just enjoy the time you have with also like you said, like trying to earn money off of it.
So talk about the seminars. Like what is it? Why? How'd you get into it? What do you do for people? What are they getting out of it? What are you getting out of it?
So, I mean, me, it's just a beautiful experience. Because it's amazing seeing people's eyes open up to what they did not know that they didn't know. Like, when I was explaining to them the 4 primal needs and then the 2 spiritual needs and, like, them actually being like, yo, this is what drives me, and then being like, yo, this is where I want to go, is an unbelievable experience. And I just think that everybody deserves to know those things, though they might not have the money to afford them.
The resources or
Yeah, because they're expensive. You know what I mean?
I mean, the Tony Robbins shit's expensive, right?
Dude, it's cheddar.
Yeah.
And so, but luckily, how we talked before, right, about the 50, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Yes,
Remember
yes,
that?
yes. I love that.
I paid for it with my education jar.
Bang.
I didn't pay out of pocket for it.
Nah, you saved up for it.
Bang.
Yeah, and that's what it's there for. But a lot of people, if I would have never been taught to do the 50, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, being like, yo, dropping whatever it was, I'll just keep it at that, on me going.
You can just look it up, yeah.
Is far-fetched.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For the average
Somebody would look
person-
at you and look at how much money, I don't know how much money you make or whatever, but they would say how that doesn't make sense
yeah,
financially for you.
exactly.
Why? How could you do that?
You wanted it, though. You were like, this is what I want. I'm going to
But
get
this is the thing.
Yeah.
People need to spend money on 1 or 2 things that they love. Fuck everything else. Don't spend money on any other shit.
Keep it simple.
That's the
Keep it
problem
simple,
though,
yeah.
because they want. Oh, those
materials.
shoes are nice,
Yeah.
and well, I do want the jacket, and well, if I get the jacket and the shoes, kind of got to get the pants. I'm here anyway, and that. But
Next
what
thing
if
you
you
get-
just really like shoes? That's fine, but just buy the shoes. Don't forget the jacket, dude.
But save up for it.
Save up for it. Yeah, yeah.
That's like with the Xbox. I didn't pay for it from me. I used my play jar, which is one
There
of
you
the 10%.
go. That is so. I'm blown away, honestly.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter what percentage you use, even if say you get your paycheck and let's say it's $100. 10% would be $10, right? But say you're tight on budget and you can't do that. So what you do is, all right, I can afford to put $2.50 in each of the jars. Dude, then do $2.50. Because if you stop looking at it and in like 4 months, you're going to have, let's say, whatever it was at the end of the day. Say you have like $20, right? You get paid twice, 5, 4, 20. Then you can afford to pay $20.
What do you think about doing that digitally? You think it won't work? You think just having like money in accounts? You think the physical money is really the physical, or just basically be direct deposit of having your paycheck pull out a certain amount of money that goes into an investment account or something, or separate savings?
Anyone can find their niche.
Like it's not. But like for you, do you think the physical act of putting the money in the jar is different from, say, of taking the same amount of money and putting it into an account?
So my jars are actually the bank envelopes.
Okay.
And I physical them. Just because you'd have to open a lot of...
Yeah.
You'd have to open up a lot of accounts.
You'd be a lot of logistical shit. Yeah.
You'd have to like do a lot of math.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all the same. I mean...
Old school fucking works, man.
Yeah. The thing
if it's broke, it's not broke, don't fix it. Right?
Exactly.
And it's like, if like... So one of your jars is for investing, right? Or it doesn't matter anyway, because if you leave your money in the bank, you get 0.001 or whatever. You earn a penny on whatever you have.
Yeah, which is not. Yeah.
So
it's
like,
whatever. It's not significant.
4 pennies is huge.
Yeah, straight up. I think I made 17 cents. I think honestly. But I want to get back to the people in the seminar, so I'm sorry. I just really...
Dude, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
So I've had a couple of them. They're really awesome. They're blast. I call them Unveiling Your Inner Essence. And it's a lot of the things that I learned at like different... at the Tony Robbins seminar. It's like I feel like people should know it. And so the main goal with my life, I think, is to become almost the Tony Robbins for teenagers. Because if I would have known this stuff when I was in high school, then that would have been awesome.
All of us, we like, would have been...
Exactly. So it's like figuring out, okay, what do I have to do in order to get there? And a lot of the stuff I keep under wraps. I kind of just do little things, figuring out, okay, what works, what doesn't, how can I get there? And I think the biggest thing is like when you go with a coach, when you go with anything like that, I think what really changed my life is like I don't know your backstory, like you in general, Sully. It's we met just through SLC, just through like stuff like that, but right, I can't perceive you for what your family's like, for what you've done in your past. I can't perceive you for any of that. I can only see you for what you can be. Not from who you were. From what you can be. You know what I mean? I've known Stefano for quite some time. He's a cute kid.
He is, though. He really is.
I know his past. I know stuff like that. You know what I mean? I know what he comes from. I know what he's saying. But still, like, I look at him, and we started a book club. Right? It's funny.
I read every day, man. I love it.
And, like, we pick a book. We have to pick a new one. We finished the other one. It was a really good book. And so, but it's just the idea is, I don't know, I've always just think that, like, all our boys are just capable of so much. And, like, that's why I try to drive it as much as possible. Maybe I'm too over the top sometimes.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate on the whole thing. I'm just because that's how I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I have a couple questions for you.
Go ahead.
So, and I don't want to put. I think it's great. And dude, if you fucking help people, like I can't say like that's just it, man. Like that's just it. Like if you help people make their lives better and allow them to see something that they didn't see before, then it's 100%. The return on investment is 100%. 200%. What somebody would say, like what I would see Unveiling Your Inner Essence, and I would say like it seems like some fluffy shit. And then I would say Nick Gates, like he's like my age. Like, how is he going to enlighten people who are 60 years old?
Exactly.
This is the devil's advocate. This isn't how I feel about it.
For sure.
This is somebody looking from the outside going like, this is a kid. I'm fucking 39 years old. I've had 16 jobs. I've been in fucking all this shit. How is this kid going to help me out? So what do you say to that person?
That's like the first time I talked about running for mayor in our town. And it's like they said, You don't even pay property taxes. How would anybody trust you? And that's the truth. But you know what also the truth is? When you're 18, that's about as far as you'll go mentally if you don't decide to change.
Yes.
If you're 55 and you never decide to change
and we
your
know
mindset,
these people too. We've seen.
You're always going to be the same as you were when you were a kid.
True.
Right?
You're gonna make the excuses. You're gonna blame. You're gonna
And you know what the truth is? I had in a couple of my classes people who were, well, obviously they were family members, right? But they generally wanted to go because they knew it was like Tony Robbins kind of stuff. But dude, it's the same principle. It doesn't matter who you are. I mean, you could be.
You're just relaying the
for sure
message, and obviously, like, you embrace it, so it makes sense. But it's not about. This is what I want to get to. Is it's not about years. It's not about what you did before.
Well, think about it this
right?
way.
Like you said,
Tony
it's not
Robbins
about who you are
started
before.
when he was 17,
Mm-hmm.
and he was making millions, like helping people.
Yep.
By who, like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just a matter of you got to really know what you're doing, what you love, and what's driving you. Because if you're just gonna listen to, yo, you're mad young, and that's actually one of my biggest things. That was my.
I think it's a pro. I don't think it's a con. But I think that
it's
the
both
devil's
because
advocate.
you have that energy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's at the same time they go, dude, but what do you really know?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And there's.
But you're not teaching them fucking sales and marketing.
No, I'm not teaching them how to do a mortgage.
No,
No.
you're not doing it by book. You're doing it more by like.
By feel almost.
And
Yeah,
see,
energy.
That's the thing though. But like people can live their entire lives, but never really live. So it's like I feel like for my age, I've been through some like. I've like done a decent.
I think that's why we're
things.
here too.
Pretty nutty stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
I feel
can
similar.
at
I feel the
least
same way.
Relay that message.
Yeah. I think I like. I don't know. I feel like I do a little bit of that. Maybe just like with my socials and the podcast, you know, and maybe the music too. But somebody would be like, well, you know, they could say the same thing to me of like, why do you have a podcast?
Yeah,
What
for sure.
What are you trying to tell people?
And
And I'm not really trying to tell them anything. Like, I feel like you're not really trying to like. You don't have a motive to like. You have to know all these things. No, it's like it's on you. Like for me, if somebody said to me like, "What are you trying to tell people?" It's like, no, what are you trying to learn?
Yeah.
Like I put it back on them.
Take your interpretation of it and then
Yeah.
whatever you want to do with it.
Like if you're gonna judge, like that's not me. That's you.
Yeah.
Like, if I judge somebody, that's me. That's
like
my
with the
judgment.
50 10 10 10, it's almost like anything you teach is just making people aware. Like I could tell you about the 50 10 10 10, I could tell you about all the primal needs and stuff like that, but I would like you to do them, but I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I'm doing them.
Yep.
I think it'd be good for you to do them.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do them.
Yeah.
And it's like the thing we talked about before is like sometimes I kind of like I always felt like I was older, mind wise.
Me too.
You
I
know
always
how we
hung out.
talked about
Yeah.
that?
Did you hang out with older people? Because I did that. I always had like friends who were like 4 years older than me that would drive me around when I was like 15.
Oh,
Like
feel
that
back
type
in
of
high
shit.
school,
know,
You're
like
saying
that.
mentally though.
We
You're
always
saying
had that
mentally,
little-
not like years wise. Like actually, like in your
Yeah.
own mind.
Yeah.
and so like I don't know. I just felt like we were doing all this. Like I sit down with he's Mr. Cajun. He's a beast. He was a DIFUS agent, and then after that, he became a substitute teacher after he retired, and he's literally he's like the most positive guy you ever meet, and he had the craziest life. And you'd be like, why? How can you be so positive?
Yes.
And he started talking to us from freshman year, right? We were his first all 4 year classes, and like, I literally at the end of each class, this is just something separate, but I would always find myself talking to him after like he had his speech because he would just pop off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not your normal substitute here as a movie. He'll just kick back. He'll come in like, "What's up, guys? Like, we're talking about life today." I was like, "Who's this guy?"
For 40 minutes straight.
Yeah.
He was a beast.
Wow.
He's like, "Screw the assignment your teacher gave me. We're gonna talk about life."
And it's like,
all right, cool.
It took
That's
3
crazy.
years for that to kick in for me. Like hearing it, and then at that one point I was like, okay, let's do this. And so I go to lunch with him, and he's like, I go to lunch with him all the time. He's a beast, And he even says to me, he's like, dude, you have to slow down. He's like, you're thinking like you're 35. He's like, you're 21. He's like, you're supposed to be enjoying. You gotta.
That's what people always say, right?
Yeah. No. Well, no. Not like going crazy, going to bars, stuff like. He means like, you should be trying things. You should be going places.
I guess that's kind of what I'm saying too, but
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Not like in a
No, but
like
enjoying your
rampage.
time, because we have time now.
Yeah, but
Theoretically.
it's like also being cognitive of like, yeah, but how much time?
Yeah.
So like you could be like, oh, I'm 21.
Yeah, we don't have unlimited time, but we just have more now than we will in 10
like,
years.
This is the time where you should go after the thing, because also, sorry, segue. I go on rides with my Aunt Jean. I actually just went with her yesterday. She's 95.
Wow.
She's actually my great.
Shout out Aunt Jean.
My great Aunt Jean. She's a beast, and she's still with it. She's all there mentally. She can hear well. She's all
That's
there.
sick.
But she goes, you have to enjoy the time you have now because you have the energy. When you're 95, you can't do those things.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I think we're living on borrowed time, and at the same time, we're in the best time to live.
For sure.
So fucking live this shit, right? Like,
Right.
as an aside, just want to put that out there.
I have this one mentor that I'm looking to start my own business in the future, and I go to him and I was like, yo, like right out of college, I want to do my business. I want to buy this place. He's like, don't do that. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, work like 3 months out of the year, like slave away, do whatever, and then the rest of the year, go out and do it. Like you said, like you're young. Go experience it. Go learn like how other people do it. Go across the country, do this. And it was kind of enlightening. And I was like, that's true. If I go out and buy a business and start it now, I'm basically I'm locked. And I can't, it's not like I can go out and explore. I have to maintain my business. So that was pretty like crazy, because I always had the mindset like, boom, right after college, let's get it going. But then again, it comes down to time. And he's like, you have all this time, but when does it come to the point where I'm like, then I start like, my business? You know what I mean? Like, it all comes down. When is that time when like you start your life? In essence, like.
Yeah, is it like a moment? Is it like yeah? No, it's kind of like it's a gray area.
Because a lot of people are like, oh,
but you were
surprised.
more.
I wish I did more. I wish I went and did this more experience before I started my life. Or like,
that's the deathbed regret.
Yeah.
Right? That's the number one regret on the deathbed is I wish I did this, and that.
Yeah. I don't want to get to that point. I want to be like, happy I did.
But you were surprised he said that though, right?
Yeah, I was, because I was like, oh crap.
Because that's like, no, that's counterintuitive to what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fucking start. Come on, dude. Like.
But in a way, I needed that. Like.
Oh well, you 100% did.
No,
yeah.
Stop. Like, but yeah, it was cool.
So.
Fucking hey. Well, you guys are just gonna look at me now. I'm looking at you. What the
Dude,
fuck are
I
we
think
gonna do?
liquidity is beautiful.
Podcast, baby.
Like, I think the idea of
like physical
fucking
items?
liquid.
Like you're saying?
Like,
Yeah. Wheels on your car.
Like not being tied, just kind of like figuring out now. Okay, what is it you want to do? Like you have the ability to just pick up and move. Like keep it super simple. Don't have a lot of stuff. Don't have
well, let's
stuff
talk.
that you don't need.
I want to talk about like minimalism because I don't do it. I have a lot of shit. Like I have a walk-in closet. Not because I fucking like have a nice apartment, just because I happen to have
Can
one.
I tell you?
And I have a ton of shit in it that I don't need.
Can I tell you one of the things that like changed my perspective? So on your door, right? I like snooping around, right? Mm-hmm. So on your front door, you have a lot of taped on fortune cookies.
Yep.
Right? The fortunes. I'm actually a fortune cookie addict.
Yeah.
Right? Someone can attest to that.
Love fortune cookies.
And one of the fortunes that I got was if you're unable to get rid of a close possession, you don't own the possession owns you.
Yeah.
So
Let that just
let
that simmer.
If you look at something,
I think I smell like something burning or something. Like,
if you look at something and you can't say, I'm going to get rid of it, or I'm going to donate it, or I'm going to do this with it, you don't own that possession. That possession owns you.
do you know what I want to do? I want to take all my shit home and have like 4 things here.
Dude, but it's figuring out.
Right? Put the bed on the floor.
Yeah.
Sleep on the floor. Like,
I'm good with that.
there's, you know what? I'm listening to this book right now, which I fucked up, and I should have just bought the actual book because there's so much information. It's called Game Changers by Dave Asprey. You'd love it, both of you guys. It's
Game Changers.
There's so much information in this book. I can't feasibly I need like an entire write up of like all the things that are in it. It's insanity. So
you know, one thing I like about Gary Vee, not to jump in,
go for it,
is when he goes, which he's dope live too. You'd like to see him.
Oh my god, I'd love to.
Is how many books are you gonna read before you move?
This is the Tony Robbins effect, though, that I'm thinking about, is that how many Tony fucking Robbins books and videos and bullshit are you going to watch? Not bullshit, but you know what I'm saying? It's real. But, or are you going to watch until you do something? Like, how many Gary Vee videos are you going to watch until you start a business? Like, that's what I want to get. That's what I don't want to happen.
For sure. That's what
I know 100% that you aren't enforcing that. You do real things. Like, you preach real things. You teach people real things that they can use to, like, make their lives better, right? But I'm guilty of it. Like 10 o'clock at night, like I'll watch Gary Vee for a fucking hour. Like,
oh, for sure.
And instead of maybe I should just be playing guitar for an hour.
Because he's funny.
Dude, he's fucking funny. He's so good. Funny. I want to feel like a piece of shit. Like I want to feel like, because that motivates me. Like I don't know, other people, like me, my self-talk is really positive. Like most of the time, which we should probably go into that too. Like most of the time, it's like, oh, this is good. Like you're doing good. But sometimes it's like, no, you're a piece of shit. Like, and then that motivates me to stop being a piece of shit. Some people tell themselves they're a piece of shit and internalize it and then don't use it as motivation. Brings them down. So what do you think about, like, what do you talk about in your head? Like, is it mostly positive? Like, are there certain things you're thinking about?
I'm thinking right now, trying to figure out, like, see, you know how I said, like, about context clues and, like, analyzation? Like, I'm sitting here right now and I was looking at you say that and I'm thinking to myself, like, a million different things. Why does he call himself that? Or why would he do that in that way? And it's like little things like that. Like I'm trying to get this kind of like bio on you. And but I'm not even doing it like in like trying to do it.
Well, it's just kind of, I'm talking about self-talk. Like what do you say to yourself on a daily basis? Like say something happens, right, that you didn't want to happen. Like what's your, like, have you thought about what you say to yourself in your own mind? Consciously, how you react to yourself. Like I think about it a lot. I don't know.
Truthfully, you know that moment.
It's important to me, I guess.
I'm gonna live a positive life. From right there, I adopted everything happens for a reason and take a step back. What did you learn from it?
Yes.
Like a core just burned.
Failing is winning.
Into my chest.
Winning is failing.
And it's like so if something really bad happens, I find myself saying, oh, that wasn't so bad. Well, I actually don't even perceive it as bad. I just say it just happened.
That's how you interpret it.
And I go, okay, but why?
That's what I'm getting at, because I think that your self-talk probably changed through that. Sure. Because, like, this can seem like woo-woo for people. They're like, self-talk? What does that mean? Like, what are you talking about? Just the voice in my head? Yeah, the fucking voice in your head who never stops, who's telling you to do 150 goddamn things that you can't control. You can. You just can't right now. But like for me, it was really important to control that.
With your need for certainty.
Yeah, 100%. No, yeah, my fucking self-talk was like 100 all over the place, man. And luckily, I started meditating. I had a similar experience to you. It wasn't a moment. It was like a year. And you know, people that know me might kind of understand this. A couple years ago, people really settle. They were like, dude, what are you, like, you're doing like some shit, dude. Like like I wasn't about all this shit, like all this talking to people. I wasn't, you know. And it was really a year for me, so that's why I also like asking the question. For you, it was more of a moment. I think for me, it was more of a increase in time, like a realization over time, which I think is funny because we ended up at the same place.
What happened on that first day?
What
started you?
So, so basically I've talked about this a couple times, but this is probably better to put it into like a real context so people know. I went to community college, and my first week at community college, like I cried. Like I don't really cry a lot.
Yeah.
And like some people like to like cry to get things out. I just don't really do that, but I actually cried, and like I just sat with myself, and everybody left, man. Like everybody was gone, and I was like, what did I do? Like I made a bad decision. Like I didn't go to real college, and I'm going to community college, and nobody's here, and there's nobody, like all my friends are gone. Like what am I going to do? So then I kind of like kept that mindset a little bit, like, and I went through the motions, and I went to work, and I went to school, and it was fine, and I was just alone. It was just me, because I went from high school transition to me. Like I went from every single person knows my name to like I don't have anybody around me who knows me except my family. So that was really hard. Like that was just weird. Like I was never in that position. Like I was always kind of pretty independent, but never that independent. I always relied on my friends, you know, and because I love them, like I want to have them around me. That year, I go through a year of community college, and then the summer after that, I was working on music, and I made a decision to buy this laptop. And I was like, listen, Bop, you're either going to fucking do it or you're not. You're going to be a music producer and a rapper and a musician, or you're not going to do it. And this fucking item is going to be the ticket, because you'll be able to make everything on here, because you can't make anything right now. And I actually made a bunch of shit on an old laptop, but that's besides the point. But I couldn't do what I wanted to do unless I had the resources. So that was step one, was laptop. Now,
Can I interject?
Yep. Because I'm going to keep going on this
yeah,
shit.
for sure.
I'm
about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear.
Yeah.
Can I just feel like can I point out a couple?
You can do whatever. It's a podcast, bro.
I feel like
I'm on a lot of coffee.
The reason why you cried was because water actually gives you more energy, because it... never mind. Okay.
Later we'll get to it.
Yeah. You cried and stuff like that, not because you missed your friends, but because you were so overtaken by uncertainty.
Yes.
It had nothing to do
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with your friends leaving. It had nothing to do with any of that.
It just seemed like it did.
Exactly. But that's where it comes in shadows. But because your certainty is so strong that it literally terrifies you. Mm-hmm. You went to community college. There's kids who are your age. All you had to do was make new friends.
Yes.
Yeah. But that terrified you because it's not your boys who you've grown with. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Who I know their entire lives.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it didn't take you a year to get there.
It really was that moment. Yeah.
In that moment, when you said, this is the laptop, it took you a year maybe to get to that moment. It took you your whole life to get to that moment. But in that one moment, you said, yo, I'm either in or I'm out. Gary V, I can't have pregnant this thing. And you said...
And where was the certainty? Right here. The certainty came to where now I'm certain I'm going to do this.
It's what you needed, because you said, if I had that laptop, I know...
I have the means.
I'm either doing this or I'm not.
And then I go on to get the laptop, and I produce. So I went to...
And why'd you pick Stockton?
Well, this is before that, so I didn't even know I was gonna go to Stockton yet. I'll make it quick to there. Yeah. Basically, during this time I went to a producer called Beach Links. I've had him on the podcast. He's engineered my album for me. Me, Miller, and my friend Jack went to him, and he's went on tour. Like he's a very insane musician. He's so good. And we went to him, and he was like, well, like you guys don't have much. Like you guys don't know what you want. And that was like a reflection of like my life at the time too, because I didn't know what I wanted in music. I didn't know what I wanted in life. Like I didn't know anything. And he's like, come back to me in a year. So I get the laptop, I produce a whole album, record the whole thing, and bring it to him. And like he was like, this is like he's like, I don't think he thought we would do it, you know?
For sure.
And we did it. And that after that was like, okay, I can make a podcast. I can make whatever I want. And that was kind of just like. That was the transition period of like once I just made that one thing.
There's Smilo.
There's the kid.
Hey. Alright, sounds good.
Word up, bro.
Dude, miss you, bro.
Y'all can pop on the pod if you want. Alright, word.
Not gonna lie, I was looking
Special
at
feature,
board.
folks.
Dude, I have my shortboard in my car. Hey, this is Stefano. I think so. Probably at SLC store or something.
Dude, if you're back, we're just heading to get my whip.
We're gonna be here, bro.
Alright,
we're
Let's
ripping,
do this.
bro. We're balls deep in this shit right now, dude. I bet you were hearing it.
Keep enjoying, boys.
Alright,
Yeah,
guys.
for sure.
Keep living.
See ya.
I'll see you, Nick.
Shout out to fucking Smilo.
Dude, love Smilo.
What a burst of fucking. I love having that kid around.
He's a
man.
beast.
Holy shit.
He's
But
a beast.
yeah, he is.
I
He
wanted
really
to say,
is.
Allie, shout out to your mom, but I didn't know if that was proper.
No, she'd be like, word.
Yeah, I love her mom.
Yeah, I want to fucking wrap this story up.
Dude, one thing that was super funny, when I first met Smilo, did I tell you about how I met Smilo?
No, I don't remember.
All right, so I went over Bondoc's house, which is Allie's sister, Allie's brother, and there's this kid named Mario Faccarelli, and has like the same exact hair. And Smilo was walking up to the front door, right? And I go, "Yo, Mario, what's up? What's up?" And he turned around and he just kind of looked at me a little bewildered. And I go, "Oh my gosh, I thought you were Mario." And he goes, "No." And then Allie walked out, and they went together wherever they were going. But that was the first time I met Smilo.
Oh my god, you just thought it was Mario.
Yeah. And then so now, I mean, now we're just close. It's small things like that where it's like seems insignificant, but like it can change.
You never know how significant it is until after, man. Like, no, everybody's nobody until there's somebody, like.
For sure.
I think that's, like, plays into the whole thing, too. And, like, basically my story's over. But, Stockton. You asked about Stockton. But basically, to reiterate the point of, like, I think that I had to make, so I made an EP before the album too. Yeah. That got my confidence up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then I made the album, and that was basically like, from there I realized.
Turbocharged.
Yeah, well, you just realize, like, once you make some, like, once you do that seminar, you're like, I can do 150 of these, like, easy. It's like, I can do whatever. I can make a platform for myself. Like you said, you can be the Tony Robbins of young people if you want to. If you just put your mindset to it and you devote your resources to it, you can do it, right? So, and Stockton came up, so I basically went to community college. I'm now, the last semester in community college, I was the most fucking efficient person you could ever, like, 30-minute meditation every day, read for an hour, this is all before 8 a.m., work out 6 days a week, trade stocks on the weekends, like, it was literally, it was stupid. I was just reading all this, but I was just flooding my mind with information. And
too much.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was, but it was great for me. I felt amazing. Yeah. And so that kind of fueled me, I think. And I just got in this mindset of, like, I just have to be this way, you know? To put out to the world what I want to put out, I have to represent it in my life. I have to do more than everybody else so then I could show them. Like, I'll read the books. I'll watch the podcast. I've listened to, like, 5,000 podcasts or some crazy number. Like, I'll listen to all of them, and then I'll let you guys know what's good, you know? So that's kind of like where I transitioned to. And then I had to pick a college, or I got to the point where my parents wanted me to. I wanted to. Part of me wanted to, like, start a business and shit, but I had no resources or means to do that. And, looked at some other state schools, and Stockton just kind of stood out to me as, like, I'm kind of a hippie type of person. I'm an artist and stuff, so that vibe was like Rutgers was a little too fast and too city. Stockton kind of fit, and I came here and turned out, to be dope. Met a ton of good people. And you guys.
You embrace the uncertainty.
Yeah, man. Dude. And I was gonna do. Wow, that's crazy. Didn't even read that.
Embrace uncertainty. It's so ironic.
This
like
podcast is some shit, man.
SLC, what's up?
No way.
Oh, you can't see the tag, but it's there.
No, I think okay, I'll cop one of those too, man. Just let me know what I gotta do.
Dude, yeah, this is my favorite shirt.
Fucking, I'll wear it every day, man.
I love it.
I'll just stay. There'd be holes in it in a year, bro.
Dude, it's awesome. Good, should be.
But yeah, now here we are.
Yeah.
In my third semester here.
Good.
And I'm actually I'm at like a point where, like, I'm at like a decision point, big time, like fucking big time.
For sure.
Yeah, like, I don't know if I want to stay here. Like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I want to go to work. I have a job offer.
Dude, you went way too far to, like, what I would say is just finish it.
Yeah, finish what you got going.
Dude, just finish it. Just to have it.
This is great. I need you guys to give me this shit.
Just finish it. That's like with, like,
the problem
is
this is
schooling.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Like, it's like you might not think that this is what you want to do, or this is the career you want to be in, whatever like that. But it's like, dude, if you spend 5 years doing it, it's like, dude, at least just finish it.
Yeah.
That way
Facts.
you don't look back and you're like 57 and go, yo,
damn, I wish I.
Yeah, just in case something happens, you go, all right.
Well,
at
this
least
is the
have
thing.
it
I can always go
whatever.
back. Like, nobody's stopping me from going back.
Yeah, but
And
whoever really goes back.
A lot of people.
That's true.
I
But
mean,
they go
I
back,
would.
like, real
I just
late.
know myself personally.
But why ever go back? you
If
could
I had to,
if
I
you
would.
could just finish it up.
The way I look at it is life is flexible as fuck.
For
And
sure.
I can just stop right now and I can just start, like, you know this. Like,
Totally.
y-
If it's
so,
there, go for it.
It's there. This is the problem. Like, move location. Like, am I doing it for the money? Is it worth the money? Do I work for a year, make a ton of money, and then stop and then be able to pay for the rest of school and then go back? A lot of options.
Oh, that's smart.
Do I push? Yeah. So it's like, I told my friends this. I basically told my like really close friends I was like, hey boys, listen, like I have this opportunity. And
Maybe we need some more context. On
Yeah,
this
I can give you the fucking context for sure, man. I know this is some real shit. I didn't even know if I wanted to bring this up, but honestly, I think I do because it's a part of my life right now. Yeah. So I work for this company.
Mm-hmm.
It's called You Don't Need a CMO. It's a marketing company.
Okay.
I run a podcast for them, and now I'm getting into the sales processes. They just hired 7 people, I think. We're going from a 7-person company to like a 14, 20-person company. 2 locations, one in Manhattan, one in San Diego. Startup marketing. I've kind of been interested in startups since I was like 15. Just read a lot of articles on tech, and like I didn't know anybody else who was kind of doing that. I just liked it. Not something I've really ever talked about either. Just something that was kind of in the back of my head of like, I'd like to work for a startup one day. Now I do. And so that was cool. That was kind of like a projection thing of like, put it out there, then you get it. Now I'm in a position of like, I could like take a job, almost like a full-time job in like a few months if I wanted to. But then it's like, do I finish school? I have like a year left or a little bit over a year left. Do I take the job? Do I work a little, just do what I'm doing, work a little bit and continue the school? So it's like a big, thing. I don't think there's an answer. Like, there's not an answer right now. I'm just letting the time
What do you think?
take it.
Funniest part about that is like you're never gonna know the alternative.
Exactly. The
Regardless of
decision I make is going to be the best decision.
Yeah.
I know that.
Because you're not gonna know like, what.
I'm
how
not
you-
stressed about the decision at all.
Yeah.
Big decisions are pretty good. I'm good with big decisions. They don't stress me out. Smaller ones do.
Are you gonna be comfortable with like? I think a good decision is like start your job and then do school too.
Yes.
Like,
I think that's the perfect.
You don't need to take 4 classes.
Yeah,
you can take like 2.
Take
Mhm.
online.
Take online. I think that's, or have the motherfucker pay for the school.
You could do that too.
Hey, hey, this is the offer. Take it off this, whatever. Take it off the whatever the salary is, right? Yeah. But the thing that like I I told my boys, right, and they were like in the beginning they were like, dude, this is a crazy change. Like, how could you like make this decision? And then towards the end of the conversation, they were like, I'm proud of you. Like, you're right. Like, you could do this. So, like, what I think about it is like, it really is flexible. Like, I can, like, there's nothing stopping me from making the decision. It's only myself, really. Like, my parents, they can't stop me. Like, they don't want to, because they know that whatever I do, like, I'm gonna be successful. It doesn't matter. Just whatever I do. So, kind of in that position of like trying to just thinking about it, I'm not stressing about the decision itself or like the time. I'm going to take as much time as I need, but
I think that for you, what you should do is like really get definite about what you want.
like what I want. Yeah.
Because
It's
like
the biggest thing.
I mean, we could tell you something, your boys could tell you something, but
Yep.
it's your
Comes
life,
out, yeah,
dude.
it's your
100%, man.
decision, like,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's good to bounce different things off of people, but it's like really sitting down and being like, dude, where do I want to be?
The list, like pros and cons list and goals, and just sit down and write them down. For me, honestly, this entire experience of going to the city, working for like this job, realizing like the actual day-to-day activities of what the job is, understanding the world of like of what it is, and talking to CEOs of multi-million-dollar companies every day.
Yeah.
I talk to these people. They're amazing. They're the best people I've ever talked to in my life. People who have fucking, it's just like talking to like some of the most successful people that you can talk to. I'm almost just like, I could just do my own shit and
Good, for
work
sure.
out the same way. Like, I feel like I have this, and I should just use like this and like the music and shit, that I make.
Yeah,
so that instilled the confidence in that this could work.
Yeah.
To support myself.
I think that's great, and I think that it really is just like whatever you set your mind to.
Mm-hmm.
And
like if I took all that energy
first,
and put it towards my shit, I think it'll be a no-brainer.
Yeah, and like what we were talking about before is like now you have that liquidity.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But that might cause you to have to
leverage
get rid of the stuff in his walk-in closet.
Exactly. And honestly, it's all stuff. It's not Balenciaga. It's shit from thrift stores,
Yeah.
No, but for real, the wheels on the car example is, I have wheels. I have 2 sets of wheels for my car. I'm a car guy.
Yeah.
Which is not good. Don't be a car. I don't buy shoes. I don't buy clothes. I don't buy any of these things. I buy things I like cars. Don't do it though. It's too expensive. So I have like nice like wheels for my car, and I have another set of wheels too. And they're worth like $1,200, right? I want them on there because they look cool and it performs better, right? Yeah. But like for my bottom line, it makes no sense. Like I still get from point A to point B on the old wheels.
Yeah, for sure.
So what is it worth it? Like what is it really worth?
Significance.
Significance, man. Because it looks cool.
Makes you feel good.
Makes me feel good. No, but I'm not ashamed that it makes me feel good.
For sure. Because there's something.
Because every day I get in that car and I turn it on, I drive and I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Am I going to be less happy with the other wheels? No, I'm going to get used to it in one fucking day, and I'm going to be fucking happy.
Everybody has a different thing that ticks. So, like,
yes.
You might have two main driving needs, but everybody fluctuates between all 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just depends on the situation.
Yeah. I feel like, damn, guys, thanks for, like, hearing me out on that. That was dope. I'm glad I got it out in the podcast too, so like other people can
literally aren't podcasts, they're just conversations that bounce ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Like this proves that I have no agenda for this, other than just hearing.
I have a script right here out. On my ramen post-it notes. It's everything.
We have a telecom reader right there. We're reading off. I have one behind me and one there.
It's everything he asked me to ask him.
Yeah, right there. All of those words.
No, I'm just kidding. It's different stuff I'm taking from him.
But did you go to college?
No. I went straight into working.
Gotcha.
I graduated in June, and I started working in July.
And was that no-brainer?
Huh?
Was just like, I'm going to work? There was no...
No, it was, I had no idea what I'm doing. It was, right now, college would not be a good idea for me because, like, we were talking before how you want to do Sober November, right?
Yep.
Like...
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, good. And... when I was in high school, dude, I was the heaviest drinker out of our group. I was disgusting. And it was like, because I had a deadly combo. And Stefano can attest to this. Deadly combo. Didn't throw up, ever. Doesn't matter how much I drank.
Never.
Had a wicked high tolerance. Have no idea how. Never got hangovers.
Generational something, genetics.
Never got hangovers.
Yeah.
And so...
you blew me away
so you were like prone to alcoholism, basically.
Dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Deadly combo.
There's no limit.
Dude, because...
So was it like just weekend, like the normal weekend benders, high school? Yeah, just
Dude, it depends on what regular... Like, my pregame, like, I would finish 2 Four Locos in, like, 10 minutes. Like, that was pregame.
Yeah.
And, like, then we would go there, and we'd just wreck handles. And it was just, like, it was disgusting. There was this one night we went and visited my friend Cole, and I also used to make devastating combos. And, like, I used to wreck people. Like, we went and visited my friend Cole.
Devastating.
There's, like, 3 different kinds of bottle of liquors on the coffee table, and he just pours it all
No, so we brought Coke because we were going to make Jack and Coke, because Stefano only had left was some...
I'm with it.
Yeah. And so we had finished the cherry Coke bottle just about to the last quarter, right? And so I take all the whiskeys that are on the table, dump them all in there. I poured Gatorade, beer. It's like all these crazy things. And then shook it up. We called it the Hamilton Bomb. And then we killed it. It was like, it was just me and Stefano. But like one of the nights, and like other things I would do is like if they asked me to make drinks, that was a terrible idea. Because the whole entire cup was... like 5-6 of the cup was straight vodka, and the last 6 would be pineapple soda or something like that. And that was literally just for them, so they have a taste. But it's like I used to like just straight vodka, I mean,
and this isn't like it's not like abnormal though. I feel like it's almost I don't know. I was in the group, like my group in high school was like, we went out more than every single, like kind of a similar situation.
Yeah.
And I relate like one of my friends to you, and I won't mention him, but like kind of a similar situation of like just going, dude, like, and I don't want to talk about the shit that we did. Like we did some shit. You guys understand it, but we like similar situation of like, there was nights when I just couldn't. I didn't want to, like, and I just still did. You know, like you just don't feel it, but then you still just do it anyway because it's just what you do.
But the thing was, because I had that deadly trio, there wasn't a stop. There wasn't a stopping point.
There's no limit.
Because I could go the entire day. But the reason why I stopped drinking was one day where I was like, yo, this is too much. I'm done. I don't need this in my life. Was actually, I guess there was a couple days that were really bad. But it came to the peak of one day. And we went to this party, and it was all day, right? Which is a terrible idea. And I blacked out before like 9:30 in the morning. And we went until 4:30 the next morning. And I got back, and then in the morning we woke up. I was spotty all day, all night. And I woke up in the morning, and of course we had breakfast at Champions, chicken nuggets.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I'll tell you about another day too. That was bad. And I took a bite, and as I bit, I had this insane pain that shot from the top of my head all the way down my entire left body. And I was laying on the ground, and while everybody else was eating their chicken nuggets around me, and I was literally in the worst pain of my life. And I was just laying there, and I like said to the person next to me, I was like, dude, that was devastating. And they go, oh, it was probably heartburn from the chicken nuggets or whatever like that. Dude, it was like a lightning bolt, went straight through my body. And another day, I had like, it was like 8 Four Locos in 24 hours, or less, maybe like 16 hours. It was devastating. Yeah. And I passed out on one of my friend's couches. And like, the thing about me, when I pass out, you can't wake me up. It's like physically impossible. So my friend Andre that I was talking about before, they called him because they were nervous that like I had died on their couch or something like that. Because
you're the worst person to pass out, probably.
Yeah, literally. And what he did was he grabbed me and he literally slapped me so hard in the face, and that was the only way to wake me up.
Wow.
He woke me up. And I am so thankful for how close like our group Wolfpack is, because like, dude, I was a mess. And so that's like now, like, I don't care what's going on. Anytime they say, oh, let's do something, dude, I'll DD, take care. I don't care. Because it's like they always have my back. Yeah. So it's like I always want to have their back.
We had a big, long talk about that stuff.
We did. There was a lot of things that we went through, and it's like, so, like, and for some of it, it was like because I was like trying to cover up like resentment and like stuff.
Well,
like
most
that.
of it is because we're not.
We don't need
it.
it.
We're not. We're prefrontal cortex still isn't developed for any of us yet, not really until you're 25 or 26. So you're not. So we're really like always making up for something that we can't figure out. Yeah. And that's really what it is in high school too. It's like even if you're not making up for something, you're still gonna do it anyway. Yeah. And then that can create resentment in itself, of like I don't want to do this, but I will. Just because everybody else is, and it can fuel it. Well, it feeds itself.
It was never much like a follower kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. But for you, it wasn't. It was you're an independent. You're a leader, so you were just going on. You were like, I don't care if anybody else is.
I was like, let's just do this.
So you don't at all. You don't drink at all.
No, I don't.
So like not like wine at family at Thanksgiving or something. Or?
I don't drink at all.
Gotcha.
I drink water. And
no, but it's poison. I mean, alcohol is poison for you.
So is water.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think a glass of wine is probably okay, or like a beer is probably fine.
I mean, it really comes down to. I mean,
like it's not bad if you drink.
Whatever. Nah.
It's just bad if you drink badly.
Like I don't care if any of them drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's their life. It's what they choose.
Mad respect, Nick. That's crazy. Because I think that's the hardest, and Smilo doesn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like find myself where, you know, I'll just get like a 6-pack, and I'll just drink like a few. Yeah. And he won't even drink a Heineken Zero. Like I can't drink more because nobody around me is doing it. Like I feel like an alcoholic.
Yeah. It's not like a shame thing. Like I would never say to them, oh, you have to stop. You have to
No, that's not. You're not
you
trying
know
to
what I mean?
change anybody. You're trying to just you
but
change yourself.
It's just Nick. So it's like whenever we get together, we do stuff like that. But they're also, remember how I said I can never base stuff on you?
Yes.
The thing is, they knew how I was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like we would always play games, and we'd always play, and it would be nuts because we would always be popping off. But it's just like,
we did the same shit,
Yeah,
man.
but
We
it's
would
just
have a
now it's a
smaller group
different
of
Nick.
people that would just get messed up. Like, we would just have a core group. Like, it wasn't about quantity. It was about quality, and it was about everybody would get like, it wouldn't be like two people were really messed. It was like everybody.
the one
bro.
thing I'd say, that I think is
I'm glad we don't do that anymore.
truly like different and like was so amazing was my like Wolfpack never really drank besides like a celebration. Like they never went out of their way to get absolutely plastered
For no reason.
Yeah. But it's like
Oh, we did.
at that point I was seeking that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But with them it was always okay, we're celebrating.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
We got a little party.
Yeah, it'd be like ever so often, but like
Yeah.
95% of the time it was always because of something. It was always a celebration. Oh, we're all together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it was never like in a party setting.
Yeah.
Besides when we would like go to like different parties, but when it was them, it was kind of just more close.
Yeah, we had like our own They weren't parties. They were just like
Kickback.
the same kickback. It was just the same people every time. There was like 20 of us, and we like after high school we kind of developed like a solid group. And when we were all together, like back home, then we were just we would now I'll probably drink some beers, but I'm not even gonna get close to what.
Well, now you go to a party and you barely know. Like,
I don't even go to I don't go to parties unless I'm getting paid or I'm performing or I'm DJing or both, so it's like that whole thing like shit kind of shifted for me of like if I go to a party at school here, I look around, I'm like, oh, this ain't it, like this is not my place, and I just leave, so I don't go anymore.
Teaches them.
Yeah, exactly. But that's just me. I think a lot of people have a lot of fun, and they should go out and do it.
Dude, dancing is awesome.
Yes, that's why
parties
just
are mad fun.
DJing, bro. That shit just gets. That's my partner right there, man.
Like
Even though I'm working, it's so fun.
dude, that's like the best part. So it's like this weekend, though I don't drink, like I had texted Andre and like our group chat, yo, who wants to go to some bars in Hoboken, right? Just because we couldn't figure, I didn't really want to go to a college party.
Yes.
And just to like enjoy.
Do you just get water then at the bar?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, bartenders hate me.
Oh, they must.
'cause they're not
Do you
making
tip
money
them
off you.
still or no?
You tip? You're supposed to tip? No, I just get.
I don't know.
water.
I don't know.
Dude, waters are free.
Exactly. That's what I'm.
You know what
That's
I'm
why
saying?
they hate you.
Dude, I
though.
go there, I pop off drinking water, and people are like trying to figure out how are you like dancing.
You're
How are you
having a
just-
great time sober, and they're
Yeah.
like so confused because they're like 3 drinks in, and they're like they still don't want to get out there.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
Well, you're just yourself. You don't need it. You don't need the lubrication, man.
That's the thing. It's like I feel like in life you just have to get super happy with who you are,
Mhm.
and it's like you're just Stefano, you're just Nick, you're just Sully.
You know what I realized when I from DJing
Wow.
is if I am up there giving all my energy and people see me like bobbing and shit and moving and making a fool out of myself because I don't know how to dance, so I just move my arms all weird,
Sure,
Yeah.
who cares?
right? They look at me and laugh, and it makes them feel more comfortable. So if
'Cause they're
you,
like, yo, this
it
kid's
makes
trash.
for the right facts. No, but like he's DJing good, but like shit, he can't dance for shit.
Yeah.
And I'll go out there and I'll be shuffling, like who's shuffling
Yeah.
to like some
Just
90s. Yeah, exactly. I do this. It makes them more comfortable, which I realized if you're yourself,
Yeah.
it always makes people more comfortable. And if it doesn't, it's in their own insecurity.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Your body
unfortunately.
language spreads to people. Like,
Exactly, like
The way
open.
you like interpret yourself, people like mimic that in a way.
And it feeds back and forth the energy. There's all of our like this is a cliche that people say now, but all of our communication is nonverbal, really. Like most of it is. Like any interaction that you have, the sense that you get from somebody on how they feel, it's all nonverbal.
Oh, for
You know,
sure.
like
What
right,
do you mean?
like it's all body language.
Oh, okay.
Like if people, so I work with a company called Presenter, and what they're doing is they have an application. It's gonna be in probably every college, like a lot of colleges. You set it up and you do a presentation, and it grades you through AI. And it says like I'm a fast talker, so it would tell me that I talk too fast. It would say that I used too much. I used a lot. I was just about to use it right there. It has all of these different metrics to grade your speaking and your presentation, and it's revolutionary. The shit, like, we need it. I don't know where I was going with it, but fuck, man, that shit's really good. Y'all should try it. For sure. It's called Presenter. I'll come back to me where I was going with that, but
I actually go to a public speaking class, and or they're a group, not a class. I found them on Meetup. And
body language. I'm sorry, that's where I was going. That's where you were going. Because I was on a podcast with them because they're experts. I interviewed them, and even from a video call, they were like, "Oh, your posture is open, inviting." Yeah. Shit that I don't even realize. It's just I'm just being me. But yeah, what you're saying.
And it's like at the class, when you speak, there's one person who counts all the ifs, all the buts, if you say something twice.
That's the app.
Yeah, and so you just kind of figure out, okay, this is what I do. This is what I need to improve on.
Self-awareness.
Yeah.
It breeds self-awareness, which is something, that's why I love doing this podcast, because I get to see this BOPCAST. I need to edit the nomenclature. But that's why I love doing it, because I get to see myself, and we can look back on our one the year before and the things we talked about. I love that. You get to see who you are now, and you get to learn from who you were then. But you don't have to judge yourself. You just take a look.
Yeah.
It's all a quick look.
It's crazy how, like, I kind of I haven't watched the old one in a while, but I really want to compare, like, the old one to whatever this one outcome would be, because I can already tell, like, I feel a different person from a year ago. Mm-hmm. So just be able to see it too, like, and then break it down.
And a year from now too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I hope we do this every year.
We will.
Yeah.
One thing I was
We're going to be in a studio soon, though.
Next year, yeah, for sure. Next year, I want to see you in an Embrace Uncertainty t-shirt.
I mean, I'd wear it right now. I'm telling you, bro. Just let me know how to. Yeah,
stick it over.
100%. I mean, I got this one, so.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be prime. One pocket tee, one non-pocket. We'll even it out,
dude.
Perfect.
It's destiny.
It's crazy, man. This shit blows my fucking mind every time, dude. Every time. This doesn't never not. Like, people who don't get it.
Get what?
Like, don't understand the BOPCAST podcast, like, the phenomenon of, like, what this is. I know it's just a conversation, like,
yeah,
but it's just a different thing, man. I don't know. Like, it just blows my mind that, like, I can do this. Like, because 30 years ago, you couldn't do this.
Oh, compared to...
Of, like, the technology. Yeah, I'm just saying the ability.
Okay.
Like, people have the ability to do this. Like, this is... And I tell it, like, every single podcast I say, I'll always say, I'm like, it cost me, like, a few $100, like, not even. It's like, I'm just talking. It's like the easiest thing I do. Mm-hmm. It's amazing, man. I don't know.
Like,
I digress.
Back then, all they had were cassette tapes.
Yep.
Like, I bought off Let Go Tony Robbins cassette tapes.
It's so cool.
And it's like, back then, that's what they had.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't overlook, like I don't use my phone I don't really seek technology. I enjoy the experiences around, but it's like, you can't overlook having the ability to broadcast all over the world with literally not needing to do anything. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I mean?
I'm slacking, man. And like you said, if you wanted to be the Tony Robbins for young people, it's going to start on your Instagram and your LinkedIn profile. And unfortunately, at least the way I look at it, or fortunately, not unfortunately. And I'm slacking, man. I got to put out more clips and stuff. Like, I'm just not have it I just don't have it structured. But I think that we can both do something of that. I think, and you're going to have a business, so you're going to play into this somehow, whatever your business is. But I think as long as we just, like, think about it, plan it, structure it, have a goal, like, light work. Yeah. Like, I'm at the point where I'm making all this content. Now I got to figure out what I want to do with it.
All it comes down to is discipline.
Yep.
Which is the hardest part.
Implementation.
It's the consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency, discipline. Mindset's iffy for me. I used to be really hardcore mindset. I'm a little bit less now.
What do you mean?
I'm more about execution. I can be sad. I can not sad. I can be have a bad I can have not the best mindset and still get things done. So I think execution over just is more important than mindset, in my opinion. Balance is huge too. The balance of like sleep, health, nutrition, right? Like we were saying.
It's funny you say that because that's actually what I'm working on now. So I was like doing everything,
go into
but
it.
my balance was absolutely terrible, and I had just been like running myself dry and not sleeping well, not eating right, and it actually came to a head. I never got to this point before. Like I always had little bits where I would feel myself being like at the end of my energy and just like all the way down, but at the end of August was the first time I literally hit zero, and we were up doing some SLC orders and stuff, and we were pretty late. And 2 weeks before, like I had just been running, not much sleep, maybe like less than 5 hours each night, and I figured out my calories right was like 1,500 a day. So like for some reason I just wasn't getting any good nutrition, any good sleep, and it came to the point where we were finishing up, and my body, I was shaking. Like I was playing everything cool, like I was perfectly fine. My body was shaking.
Fight or flight. Your body went into fight or flight mode.
What do you mean?
So what you were telling your body is there is a threat. We can't get enough sleep because there's a threat. That's something is making us not something is wrong because you're not getting enough sleep. So what's wrong? Your body was either fighting or fleeing.
Dude, it's fighting.
It's doing one of those.
For sure.
It went into that mode. This happened to me last weekend. This is the first day I feel right in the last week, honestly. So I can relate to this. But so basically, a lot of people are living in fight or flight mode all of the time. They're stressed. Their body is stressed. They're stressed because their body's stressed, and they don't understand why their body's stressed. Because they're getting 5 hours of sleep. They're drinking 4 nights a week excessively. 3 nights, 2 nights, doesn't matter. They're smoking weed every day. Which gives them anxiety. But so then they smoke more, and then that makes the anxiety go away, and then they drink a little bit, so now it feeds into it. Your body, like I was saying, one alcoholic beverage in your body doesn't recover properly. So you're disconnected because you're putting all this stuff in, and then you're taking Sunday for self-care day or some bullshit, trying to make up for the sleep and all the bullshit that you lost. Your body doesn't understand that. It's in fight or flight.
Yeah, so that night I was literally shaking. I felt like I was hovering above my body looking at it. And that night I got super sick, woke up. I was bedridden for 3 weekends, so almost 2 weeks straight. And that was like my whole beginning month of September. And then after that, I was like, all right, I got to change some stuff.
Bounce.
Yeah, and that's like with the Xbox, like spending more downtime and just kind of enjoying. And Jim Rohn, it's funny, he talks about his first year. Jim Rohn's a beast. I don't know if you know Jim Rohn.
I know the name. I don't.
He was Tony Robbins' mentor. So
okay.
I felt like in love listening to like Jim Rohn stuff, but unfortunately Jim Rohn passed away. So like that's how I started getting into Tony Robbins, because some of his stuff was from Jim Rohn, because he was his mentor. And he said, what happens if I start doing the things I love and then get too sick to even enjoy them? And then so that started going in my head. It was like, all right, I got to start enjoying more of my time. And another thing while I was at the seminar was me and this guy were sitting next to each other from Boston, right? He's a realtor. And we were just talking to each other, chatting, and I forget how the question came up, but it was, what do you like to do for fun? And both of us were sitting there, and we were just looking at each other and we said, I don't know. Because it's like while they were at school, like I was just working all day.
Tunnel vision.
School, business, bed for a long time. And it's like I lost like doing things that I had loved, because I was so geared towards, oh, this is what we got to do to succeed. This is blah, 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 blah. And it's like just completely, because I've always been a black or white person. No gray. So it's like either all in or nothing.
Next shirt is embrace the gray.
Dude. No, that's why I made it gray.
Oh, perfect. It's
Dude,
implied.
you're
fucking leagues ahead of me.
Literally, okay. I thought this entirely through. Like, this shirt wasn't.
Why didn't I not assume that?
Dude, this shirt wasn't just a kind of, oh, this looks dope. This shirt was.
Everything means something, man.
Dude, it was a billboard. Embrace the gray.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah, that's hard for me too. I'm a very binary. That's so crazy, man. What the fuck is up with him, man? He's crazy, bro.
Dude, I'm nutty. And also with like SLC, how it stays swell, I decided that uncertainty is the white water. So like you can ask Smilos, like when you're surfing and you get smacked by the white water, you can either let it really overcome you or you can embrace the white water. Because like people in Hawaii where they get smacked by like 30-foot waves, like if they fight it or they struggle too much, they're going to drown and die.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's, yeah.
You have to embrace it and then start making your way back up. One other thing, because I was thinking 30 foot on top of you, whatever. Do you know how you figure out, if you're stuck in an avalanche? I think this is one of the coolest things. I think I heard this when I was mad young. So if you get stuck in an avalanche, say, because I see a snowboard over there, right?
Yep.
And you're under the snow, how do you know which way to start digging? This is for both you guys.
I remember this, but I don't remember.
Did
what
I
the
tell
answer
you
is.
this?
No, I remember it from when I was a kid.
Oh, okay. I don't even know.
But I
how
don't
heard
remember
this.
what the answer was.
Think about it for a second. If you're stuck in snow, right, you're packed in. How do you know which way to start going? If you dig towards the bottom, then you go to the ground. You want to dig up. How do you know which way's up?
Yeah, how do you know which way's up? I don't know.
You dig a little. You take a piss around you.
Dude, you can't move.
Can you dig it a little bit?
Yeah, you take
You're
a piss.
stuck
Yeah,
in-
if it goes
dig
down,
around
You're
it,
stuck
and then
in
take
snow.
a piss and see where
You're
gravity.
stuck in snow.
I don't know.
You spit.
Well, yeah.
If you spit
Or
and
you
it
take a
comes
piss if
back
you
on
can.
your face,
Oh.
how can you see if your piss goes
Yeah,
down?
you're right.
Isn't that crazy?
That's so weird, man.
Now when I get stuck in an avalanche.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm
No, but
hyperventilating in a fucking snow hill
For
and I'm
sure.
about to fucking
For sure.
yeah.
But it's like you know it now.
Honestly,
And
being,
that's
yeah,
how like self-development works because like
being relaxed.
no,
I
but
know.
like all you're doing is making you aware.
Yeah.
Not to
Oh,
say
it's
you're
awareness,
ever going to get
awareness.
stuck in an avalanche, but now if you're stuck in an avalanche,
Mhm.
something in your head, even if you never decide to use it, is going to be like, yo, because your brain's going to start saying, how the heck do I get out of this avalanche?
Yeah.
And then you're going to go, oh, wait, Nick told me for some reason. If I spit, right, and you spit,
Yeah.
it's going to go right on your face. And you're going to go, all right.
Here we go.
Gotta
Get up in there.
But it's like embrace the white water. When you get smacked around, don't struggle.
Yeah, uncertainty is. I
So
never
scary.
realized from this like how much I don't like uncertainty. Like,
For sure.
but recently I've been finding things that I don't want to do and then just doing them. So.
That's
like-
embracing it.
Yeah, exactly, man. So I did a month of embrace. So the first month of school, I told. So there was always a thing in my head of like I don't like working out in the morning. I hate it. Like hate working out in the morning. I don't want to do it.
Okay.
I don't feel good. I don't have my best workouts in the morning, right? And not that I'm not a morning person, because like I basically am. I usually get up pretty early, but I was like, all right, let's do it then. If you don't like it, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wake up at 6 and go to the gym
Every day.
every
sucks.
single day. Oh, you like to eat at 8:30 in the morning? Yep, fuck that. Let's eat at 1 every day. Let's not eat from 8 o'clock at night to 1 the next day, because I feel like that would suck. So I did them both at the same time. I got up every day at 6 and worked out, and I did intermittent fasting. I didn't eat till like noon, 1-ish. And at the end of the month, dude, I felt fucking amazing. I felt so good. After like 2 weeks, it was just like, bang. Right? So it's like the same thing of embracing, doing things you don't want to do makes you a better person like every single time. In my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's great. Do you know?
I don't do it anymore though. I work out at random times now.
Yeah.
And
You-
I my diet's good, but I don't do intermittent fasting anymore. But
Well, because you've read, I mean, you've listened to 5,000 podcasts.
Probably like 2,000, but yeah.
Well, we're
It
gonna
was
say
exaggerated.
5,000 exactly.
Yes. On the dot. I keep track.
You know who David Goggins is?
One of my favorite people on this
For
earth.
sure. Do you know who Jesse Eisler is?
Itzler, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Itzler, right, or something.
Itzler, yeah.
He was a rapper.
Really?
Yep.
No way.
Yep. He had a deal.
Huh. That's
Mhm.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah.
So, Jesse Itzler invited David Goggins, who is a former Navy SEAL, to live with him for a month. Did you watch this on the Joe Rogan one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
There's a book about it too.
exactly. And he made him do for 1 month straight things that sucked every single day, and they were literally nuts, just crazy things, like make him run through a blizzard.
Like he would make him like go up and down his stairs like 650 times or something.
Damn.
Yeah, like just stupid. Yeah, run it through a blizzard.
Literally crazy stuff. Make him
Right.
go into a frozen lake, just like literally
Run a
nuts
marathon a day, like
Yeah.
which David Goggins basically does
stuff. Yeah,
himself.
which is crazy.
Right.
But it's just he wanted a change to his routine. Like you get so much certainty, and you need some uncertainty, or else you're bored.
Exactly. Yeah, and then when you can't being bored a little bit is good. I think to create
Well,
ideas,
that comes back to balance.
the balance.
You need to
but
balance
then being
some. You need the
too
gray area.
bored, yeah, the balance and the gray,
Yeah.
gray
Right.
balance.
You shouldn't have too much certainty, but at the same time, you kind of need to stay on track, so you don't need too much uncertainty.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you got to find it for yourself, probably, right?
Yeah, you find your balance.
Find
Some
it.
people can handle more uncertainty than other people can handle.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
think do you think you can train yourself to handle more uncertainty? Do you think the more uncertainty you put on yourself, do you think it's a trainable skill?
What do you think?
Uncertainty.
Yes.
Yeah. Like embracing the unknown, the whitewater.
I'm not sure about this
I
one.
think that's more of the person, because like you said before, like someone can be totally content with making 40K a year and just living the daily life, and then there's other people that, fuck it, I'm gonna do this today, like
Yeah.
whatever. So I guess it comes out of the person.
Yeah, I'd say I don't know if it's trainable. I think you could probably get better at accepting it, but I'm not sure if the actual feeling that it gives you is going to change.
I don't know. I think it just depends on.
It might not even be a relevant question. Like, it might not even
No,
matter.
it is for sure,
Yeah.
because if you have, like, so one of the things, my girlfriend, right? I always just, like, I'm too spontaneous, so it's like things that completely catch her off guard, because she's more so centered towards certainty,
Yes.
and like so it'll drive
I'm her.
nuts, right? Like I'm almost sometimes too hard to deal with.
Mhm.
Not necessarily.
It's the
for
yin and
her,
yang, though, yeah.
But I just mean like even for myself, sometimes I go, "Wow, I'm a little too much."
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I kind of perceive that, but it's just like that's the stuff that makes me feel alive. Like, you want to hear the craziest thing? The first time I went skydiving, right? It was absolutely fire. But I was not afraid at all. When we when we started going there, I was just like, all right, let's just do this. And I went with Pat, right? And the thing I like to describe it as, it comes in waves. It's the first idea, hey, do you want to go skydiving? And then you get a little rush. And then you have to wait until your day, right? So it calms down. And then once you get there, you get a little bit of rush again. You're like, oh my gosh, we're kind of getting there. We're going to do this. And then you sit down and you watch the waiver video, right? So then you kind of just relax. You're filling out your waiver. And then it comes again when they put the harness on you, right? And now you're waiting for your jump, and you kind of relax.
Oh fuck, this is about to actually happen.
Yep. And then you get in the plane, right? And you start flying, and you're relaxed because you're just like, oh, we're going up, whatever. And then they say, yo, 2 minutes, and you go, and then you get another rush, and you go, oh my gosh, right? But I found myself, like, as the doors open and as we're just going up and up and up, Pat started getting nervous. He was like, oh my gosh, I hope we don't die. He was like, he's mad funny. And, dude, I was perfectly content. I was just relaxing. I was talking to my guy, like, asking him about, like, the altitudes and stuff like that, just really taking in the
You're in the moment.
environment. And, like, when the door was open and I'm sitting there, I had my arm, like, out the door, dude, I felt good. Like I was fine. I was not nervous. I wasn't.
Is that just who you are though?
Probably. I don't. No. I don't know because if
Okay.
I never made that decision,
Yes.
that one day, would I be that same way?
True. That's what
Probably
that's what
not.
we're trying to figure out.
And so, the point I'm getting at is like, though that didn't scare me or frighten me at all, I had got. Do you know what wheatgrass is?
Yeah, I think so.
So
like, I
wheatgrass
heard
is
of-
this thing that you're supposed to drink. It helps. It gives you more energy.
Oh yeah, it's like a natural supplement.
So I got like this powder, this wheatgrass powder, right? And it has like all these crazy different like vegetables, and dude, it's just power packed. And I go and I put a scoop in my drink, my glass of water, and I mix it up, and it literally looks. I call it my swamp water, dude. It's dead green. It's thick green.
Beautiful.
Dumb thick.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I was petrified to take a drink of it. Like I literally, for some reason, I was just like terrified. I was like, oh my gosh,
Nick
I don't
Cage
want to.
runs out of a fucking plane. Just let's
Dude,
get it.
literally
Wheatgrass
nothing.
is like, what is it?
Dude, literally nothing. And I literally, it took me seriously. I stopped myself because I had gone up like twice. I went. Right, and I literally.
It's
said
the
to
diving
myself,
board though. It's just jumping off the. It's getting to the edge. And,
Yeah, but come on.
right.
And I'm thinking, what the heck?
I jump out of planes. I can't drink.
I
this.
literally said that. I said I started laughing hysterically, and I said to
You
my
did
mom,
the self-awareness.
I said,
move,
would
yeah.
you believe this?
Yeah.
I said I was sitting on the edge of a plane, my feet and hands hanging out, looking out over 10,000 feet,
Yeah.
and I can't even take a sip of this stinking water. And so after
Fucking grass water.
yeah, I said, all right, I'm doing this. And I drank it, but it was just like, I was like, yo, but like you said before, like big decisions aren't hard for you, but like small decisions, it was like, why was that so difficult?
Yes.
And it's
don't
like,
know- we don't
it
know,
literally
yeah.
makes no sense.
I think we're always,
Zero
and we all have examples of that, obviously,
For sure.
in our lives. And
Comes down to the uncertainty.
yeah.
Like, you were uncertain about.
How it was gonna taste.
Yeah.
It was all vegetables, but maybe I was afraid I wasn't gonna like it or
Yeah.
something. Dude, it does taste like swamp water. But it's
Is it
nobody
good?
else
Does
in
it
my
make you
family
feel
will
good? Or
drink it.
does it make you feel
Be honest with you,
You don't know?
if you were for November to have
'Cause
swamp
I'm
water
trying
instead
everything.
of coffee, I bet you'd feel just the same. Like if you were dead up, and
Except for
trying
the
to cut
caffeine
it,
withdrawal, I'll probably give it other than that.
dude, this thing hypes you up,
Because
bro.
I'm trying to go fucking superhuman mode this November. So
Well, it's
let's
a
get it.
super-
I'm about to go to GNC and just drop like $100 and just fucking.
Well, I don't know if you gotta go that far, but
Nah. I'm gonna get like I gotta get just like
go
vitamins
to
and stuff.
ShopRite. Go to ShopRite, and it comes in a little container, and it has like a bunch of different fruit in it. It's just a little scoop.
I'm
Put it in
gonna
your
try
water.
these smart drugs too. They're called they're all like natural stuff. Modafinil, if you've ever heard of that one.
No, I don't. take
Acetaminophen. There's a bunch. There's like parametaphine. There's like all these little. They're like root. The root extract is cool. I've used like a bunch of different or a few different ones, but I'm really trying to like experiment and just like see if I can get like see how they feel, because I'll be in a blank state, so I'll be able to feel like.
Well, then you
that.
know what you have to do? You have to take 2 months. Start it at the end of your sober month. Because it won't really affect you. Like, if you were to start taking them, like, in a week, you've only been off for 2 days.
Yeah.
You have to wait till your whole month is cleared.
Not with me though. I am really attentive to how things affect. Like, I am so in tuned with my, like, I know the difference between that 20 minutes of 7 hours and 30 minutes versus 7 hours and 55. Like, I can feel that. Like, I don't know. I'm just really in tune, I think.
But
Maybe
is
it's
that
just a
all in your
placebo,
head?
but I don't know.
So,
No, I just feel, this is the thing. I like have this, like I have I only eat the same things every day, basically. I do the same, like I don't do the same workouts, but I work at, like, I don't know. It's just like I'm really optimized. So I feel like I function normally, like my normal level of functioning, I feel like is like pretty crazy, like pretty good, like pretty, like so I can.
Why mess with a good thing?
So I
Yeah,
no, because
sounds
to
routine
test, right?
based, Really.
Oh, it's very routine. I'm very routine. I'm very structured.
We already
routine.
decided that
I'm
he's
bottom down
super
type thing.
certainty. He's
Yeah.
dead in.
Dude,
on
I'm
certainty.
so
For sure.
so certainty, dude.
It's not a bad thing.
control. Because I like to control what I can
But
control.
let me ask you, if something were to happen and you lost like all these things,
What things?
like your smart drugs and your whatever.
Well, I don't do them, like I'm just trying to try them,
Yeah. Well, I just mean like
they're
in
not-
general, like if your whole ability gets
So you're saying if the things,
get
if I lost
shit
my
from-
diet and my exercise and all that
yeah,
shit.
like that's what you got to figure out. Can you figure it out? Like
Without
yeah, like what do you really need?
like without coffee and without working out and,
Yeah.
and proper diet and think no, because it's no.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, because I won't function at the level that I
peak
need to
level.
function.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, which is good.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do without them.
It's good to
I
have
did
structure.
live without them, and there was times in my life where I did a lot more too. Luckily, I still meditate every day. That's one thing that stuck with me. That I think that is
It's
the
hard.
baseline. Like if
For
I
sure.
don't have coffee, I don't have like water. If I don't have it, like at least I would have my
Meditation.
mental. Yeah.
Which
Do you
is
do
good.
any of that or?
Yeah, a little bit, but I didn't.
It doesn't
So
work for
it
everybody.
Comes back for I have to get into that gray area.
Yes.
Like
That's my time.
it was. I was doing it hard on,
Mhm.
and then I stopped. That's what I'm saying. So I was either all in
Yes.
or nothing. So it's like figuring out. Okay, well I have to just. Do
I will be
it.
late
Just do it.
to
Just
meditate.
do it.
I
Just
will be
do it.
late to
For
meditate.
sure.
I will be late to anything if I don't have if I'll take 5 minutes and be 5 minutes late. Like that's just it's more important to me because I think somebody would rather have me. I'd rather be in class 5-10 minutes late and be mentally clear than be on time and not
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And I think
For sure.
that this world is coming along to that now, and we're realizing like the importance of it. Of like just getting your shit like you have to have it's the
Mental
it's the
toughness.
Jordan Peterson effect of clean your room before you go out and try to change anybody.
Make your bed every
Make your
day.
fucking bed.
Yeah. Everyone should take like 1 hour
I
of
do
their
that.
day just to think.
At least, yeah.
Because some people are just like going, and they never take the
Like
moment.
Nick, you probably were kind of like that, right? Like that going. Yeah.
You gotta take that moment to be like, okay, I'm at this point in my life. I'm doing this. This is what I'm going for. No one really nowadays takes the time to be like, where am I going with this? Like you were just going work, school, sleep. Like you never took the time to be like, okay, let me take a deep breath here and figure out what's my next move and stuff. You know?
That's what I'm doing right now. Literally, in this moment, like this podcast, like is. I knew, like, I was just like, I
like a
was,
breath of
I was,
fresh air.
yes, I was just hoping for the show, like, for the last like 2 weeks, man, because like, I just been thinking about all that shit, man, and now, and because so much was put on my plate that I didn't ask for, but that I was supposed to be proud of, that I was supposed to just embrace and just say like, yeah, I'll just do all of this work that never ends, and I realized I can't get anything done unless I step back. So basically, just told my boss like, hey, I can do this, I can do these 3 things. All the other things I can't do because I want to do those 3 good. I want to do them well.
Mm-hmm.
There's that too of like
That's a
trying
good
to
thing.
do everything. Yeah, but I never thought I would have to do that. I always thought I could just do everything.
You don't want to overwhelm yourself.
Exactly, I did too. I did, and now luckily I can.
Yeah,
Which is the hardest thing.
it is hard. It is. Hard.
Imagine that. Imagine taking a breath can be the hardest fucking thing.
That's
Imagine
crazy. Yeah.
getting
It is
in
the
tune with
hardest thing.
yourself when you're you all fucking day.
People forget that.
Yeah, they do forget it because they're lost in the sauce and they're doing a lot of things for other people. Because we're always doing things for other people. I'm working for fucking 5 people right now. It's like, I'm supposed to be working right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
When is it the moment I gotta work for myself?
exactly. And I thought I did. And I did enough of that until the work started to take away from that. And then I was like, every hour of the day, it's literally 10 o'clock at night. I used to have a thing that I don't do work past 5 every day.
Right.
The other night it's 9:30. I'm still on my laptop working. It's like I need to like not do that because then that affects my next day productivity.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I mean, it's great that you say that because I was always doing that, and so now I have like a cutoff at like 8. So
Yep,
if I can
that's prime.
maximize on a couple things, and then once I hit 8 o'clock, I just kind of relax.
Office hours are closed.
Yes.
No
I hang
emails.
out.
No nothing.
See what fucked me
Take
up
some
was
time and think.
yeah, there you go. No, what fucked me up was Google Calendar. I have everything because my type A just goes hard on Google Calendar, bro. Like I have my entire life in my calendar, and it's honestly, it's like I thought it would be so good for me, And it is in some sense, but there's a part of it that's just looking at that like
It's too much.
yeah,
I got
just
a lot to do.
looking at. I open one day and sometimes there's 10 things on there and 2 of them are my 2 classes, and then everything else is meeting with this person I don't know. Oh, VC investor like of 100 companies like fucking, and it's like I can't fuck that call up. Like I can't hang out for a second after class. Nope, just on the call. I'll step out of class like to get on a call.
That's the thing is like, the difference is like if you open you can go too much either one or the other. You know, like in school, I never used a planner, right?
Yeah, me either.
Never.
But like now I'm like trying to learn how to use a calendar.
Me too. That's exactly.
You know what I mean? So like you have 100,000 things in your calendar,
Yeah.
but I haven't sat down and figured out, okay, what's the next step?
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a lot of figuring out, okay, where do I want to go? What am I trying to get certain about? Like, what are the things I want to truly pursue?
And then scheduling or understanding the amount of time they're going to take.
Figuring the steps out and then being like,
Kinda
okay,
setting
I need to do
goals
this
for
stuff.
yourself.
For sure.
Because I use the remind me thing, and I always like in that hour I'm like, okay, I set my reminders like in weeks in advance. Like I got this to do.
Me too.
I got this essay to write. I got this meeting. I got this. It's good though. It's a kind of a weird feeling. Like, boom, I did that. Like I completed that.
The
It's like this little like self.
the accept like the checking off shit is so nice.
Yeah, it's like I did that word.
Yeah, fucking sick. Like I just feel so good to check things off, man. I don't
Little
know.
things like that.
Yes.
It's like, so
I also never learned how to celebrate. So like
Me either. Yo.
you're talking about like how good, but it's like I would just go through things and I would just say, oh, okay, it's done. What's next? And it's like unless you have that little celebration that okay, we did it, sweet. All right, what's next? If you just go, all right, that's done. Okay, what do we need now? It kind of just like
you need that little celebratory thing.
Yeah.
Don't celebrate too much,
Yeah.
but it's good to like.
to at least enjoy yourself on the experience.
How much of people's lives is the next thing?
What are you talking about? That's broad.
I just feel like from the start we're taught. So in high school, for middle school, what do you prepare for? High school. High school, what do you prepare for?
College.
College, what do you prepare for?
Life.
Job, right? Or life, but job, right? So it's always in high school. They say, "What are you going to be in college?" In college, they say, "What are you going to be after?" And it's always the next thing. We're always just the next, and we can't. So in high school, we're thinking about college. We're not thinking about high school. College, we're thinking about job. We're not thinking about college. You know, it's like we're always thinking about, and we can't just. Let's just focus on us. Nobody says. Nobody said. They don't say, "Who are you right now?" They say, "Who are you going to be?" Fuck that. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's not fucking it's the gray. You don't know. So I think if you focus on who you are now, that's the predictor of who, instead of just going, you skip the number one question. I think most people skip that question. I have before as well.
And that's
It's
like
who you are now that will be you in the future.
Yeah, or determine, yeah.
Yeah.
All the insights that you need are here now.
Yeah.
Like you're going to tell. That's gonna tell.
I wish I learned that later on. I wish I didn't have to go through like a dark path to like realize like, holy crap, like I should live in the now. Why am I so worried about what's gonna happen?
Yes.
I don't even know if that's whatever I'm stressing about is gonna be true anyways. Like,
Worrying is. I love this quote. I don't know who it was. It was like worrying is just praying that bad things will happen.
yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. Because that's all it is. You're just
9 times out
thinking.
of 10, it doesn't end up happening anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Right.
say fear is false evidence appearing real.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's good too, man.
It's not mine. I took that, but yeah, it's good.
Shit. Yeah, I think we gotta
In
just.
the Bible, it says,
take a minute.
"For what does a man gain if he spends even 1 minute worrying?
Yes.
For it adds nothing to his life."
And like Marcus Aurelius says things similar to this, too. I don't know if you've read anything by him.
No.
Yeah, basically the same thing of like, don't worry about what the other man has. Has nothing to do with you.
One business quote that I've learned is, "You're gonna fail." Like anyone who ever had a business, invention, anything, you're gonna fail. It's inevitable. You can't be afraid of that. Like, you're gonna have to take it head on and take it for what it is and keep moving. Like, so it's no point worrying about it anyways because it's gonna happen.
No, and the worst, and the people who get caught up that never have a successful business is because they were too afraid to fail in the beginning.
It's too hard.
Or the people that never start. It's the you watched too much.
Yeah.
You used your time to watch, and you never did, and you never created, and you never put it out there. You never built a story.
I can't do that. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough knowledge. Or it's like, no.
The
just go out and
excuses
get it.
are the fucking easiest thing.
Easy.
Like, that's the easy shit. I mean, like, and it also comes back to the self-talk of, like, what excuses are you giving yourself? Like, the excuses I gave myself to, like, smoke weed or drink or something, like, or the celebration, like you were saying, is good, but you can abuse that, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What are you going to celebrate every fucking day?
No, I mean,
I did. Like, is it good? I don't know. Did I do a lot of shit during the day? Yeah. I don't know. Gray area. It's different for everybody, you know?
You can ask yourself, what are your self-imposed limitations?
Yeah.
What do you, like, elaborate? Like, what do you mean?
So, what do you look at what your baselines are? What's your baseline for this podcast? Can we surpass it? What's your baseline for, like, what you need to, like, can you run 10 miles, right? And you say, oh, I can't do that. So you get to 7, and you go, oh, no, I can't get that far. But you surpass it. You created that limitation for yourself. And then you say, oh, no, I'm going to finish the 10. I don't care if I have to walk it. I'm going to finish the 10 anyway. You've beaten that self-imposed limitation. So it's like, what are you putting on yourself, or what was other people saying to you, or what have you developed, right, even since you were a kid? Because a lot of times if you study who you were as a kid, like, you can figure out, like, more so, okay, well, what did I want to be originally? What did I want to be back then? What kind of person was I? Did I do this or did I do that? You know what I mean?
Somebody just said to me the other day, somebody very successful I was talking to, I don't remember who it was, but they were like, I went back to the things that I did when I was a kid, and I've been doing them, like, just like skateboarding and stuff. And I'm like, this is a millionaire. I'm talking to a multi-millionaire.
Because go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. And because you were probably just gonna say the same thing, like that. They didn't realize how much joy it gave them. It never, the joy never ended. The activity stopped.
Yeah. Because you said,
yeah. They replaced it with productivity and fucking work and
which is bull.
Yeah.
Making up things for themselves to make.
Exactly.
I don't know how to
No,
put it,
almost to feel like they're doing more.
Yeah, feel like they're occupied.
Yeah.
When they're really just making shit up to fill their time.
And the truth of the matter is, when you're skateboarding down the street just fucking around, bro, you have the best business idea just pop up right there.
For sure. Because
you're like
stimulating.
Yeah.
The creativity stimulating through,
like, what if I could start a nonprofit to help kids skateboard and, like, just get them together to, like, keep them on the streets, but they'll all be skateboarding. Like, there you go. Whatever.
You wouldn't have
like,
thought of that.
Exactly. If you never did, and then it could be your next fucking nonprofit. So somebody go out there and start that shit, and then just let me know.
Go get a skateboard.
I will support it. Like, I'll fucking donate, and just let me know. Like, if you start it, literally let me know. Any ideas on this podcast? Like, any ideas that I put out the world? I let people do, like, take and do whatever they. Nobody does, because nobody really takes them or does them. But I'm like all about just sharing ideas, and, like, if somebody can make a company a lot better than I can, just go for it. Just go do it. Like, I'm not saying I have good ideas. Just if you hear me spit one, just go out and do it. Like, shit, man.
I started coaching soccer like a year ago. My one goal was, like, if I could impact one kid, that's all that matters. Because when I was younger, I didn't really have. I had, like, someone's dad, and they didn't really take it into full consideration. But when I coached, I was like, I know what it's going to take to get to that level, and I'm going to push these kids to that point. So if one kid gets impacted and say, oh, I had this coach back in rec when I was like 5 years old that impacted me, that's awesome.
That's it, man.
It's even like this podcast. If one person looks at it and becomes, like, gets an idea or something.
I say that every time. That's the entire point. Like, when somebody asks me, like, I can tell you what it's about. Like, what it's about is different than what it's for. And what it's for is for one person, or 5 or 10 or 11 or 16.
What's your why? It's
Exactly.
the craziest question anyone has brought. Like, why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to start your business? Why do you want to
Yeah.
do self-help programs? Why do you want to do a podcast? It's like, it's crazy.
Now when I interview, like, I actually had an interesting experience at like the internship fair here, and I ended up just interviewing all the companies instead of them interviewing me. And there was a little bit of back and forth, but I just I kind of, as I went through like 5 or 6 companies, I was like, no, I'm just gonna ask them what they're all about. Like, I don't care if you're gourmet restaurant was there. I'm like, so why are you guys doing this? So that's crazy. We're getting to the point where like that makes sense. That's becoming mainstream now. But it's so important. It's literally the number one thing. If you don't have the start and the why, then you don't have the how or the do or the creation or
if
nothing.
If you're just in it for the money, then you're really in it for the wrong reason.
Exactly. Well, if you're in to get out, you're not even in. You ain't in, bitch.
Yeah.
You're fucking you're done. You're the sad millionaire.
Yeah, because you're gonna get to a point where like, what the fuck all this was for? Like, I have all this money, yes, but like, what did I get out of it?
Yeah, it's at the end of the day is what you feel about what you did.
Yeah,
I think, rather than what you did or the money that you have.
The connections you made.
Yes, that too. How you feel about are they good connections? Yeah.
I feel like it has a lot to do with how you impact other people too. Like, you can always do something for yourself, but me, I want to do like a hotel because I know I can provide great service.
Hospitality. Yep. You know it.
Wolfpack Den.
Yeah, Wolfpack Den.
Stay there.
You heard it first.
You need investors?
Potentially.
We'll let you know on that. We'll get back to you.
Stay in the Sully room.
Exactly.
Sully room, yeah. But that's my why. Like, I want to. I know I can make money off of it, yes, but I want to create this whole elaborate experience that people can look back on me. Like, I did not just get a room at a place. I got a whole experience out of it, like. Cause it's so great when in any hospitality major would say it's so
experience,
great to impact someone's life. So minimal. Like, I was a front desk agent at Hard Rock, and this couple came in, and they had a rough experience coming in. It's just like a bad week. I was like, I got you. Like, I upgraded them. I gave them all this little incentives and stuff, and they were on their way. And I worked the next morning, like, the checkouts. They came down and they said, I want to personally thank you, like. That right there is why I do it, because it's like I had an impact on their stays, one way or another. Doing like the minor things, just being smiling, being nice.
Literally all it takes.
It's all it takes.
I same thing with DJing. When I have a 7-year-old girl and she wants one song and I put it on it, and I've never seen a 7-year-old girl more happy. Like, I don't give a fuck about the paycheck at that point. You know, like, it's obviously like it helps me survive, but like, man, is that when it's the wedding and it's with the groom and his mom, and they're both crying, dancing together, and I'm like, guys, come on, and they're looking at me, and I'm like, guys, come on, and and I'm like, that's why I do it, folks. Literally, I'm about to tear up. Like, I take the I can't even pull my phone out for a video. Like, I'm so in the moment. Like, that's it. Like, it's the experience and the moment. Like, people remember moments and experiences. They don't remember your fucking money in your bank account, like
money flows.
Yeah, money flows, man.
Money flows. So.
There's one really good quote by Maya Angelou, and it says, what the heck is it? I won't remember what you said to me. I won't remember what you did to me, but I'll always remember how you made me feel. Something along those lines. That's not 100% it. Don't quote me on that.
But
yeah,
that's it though.
But yeah, I mean, it's how you make that person feel. If that couple were to come up to Stefano and say, whatever they were going through, and then him give them an attitude or something like that.
Yeah, I could easily be like, fuck you. Like,
for the rest of their lives, they're gonna say, yo, do you remember that guy in the Hard Rock?
Yeah,
for the rest of their lives, they'll talk about it forever. Like that kid Smilo, he just
Yeah, I don't know, but apparently
Smilo,
he's a good guy.
I was telling them about the first time I met you. Remember when I thought you were Mario?
Yes. at Mondox.
Yeah.
Yes.
And after that, I mean, that's how we started. And now he's a beast. He's always been a beast.
Now we're shooting. We got to shoot again.
Yes, I know. I miss it. Great photography.
Yeah, shout out Smilo for the fucking photo, man. This is his fucking stew right here. as well.
And I wanted to say
The
also, shout out to Allie's mom. I love Florence.
She says she sees you all the time.
She's so cute. I love her.
Like, in our family group chat.
Uh,
Right, by the way, like, Nick, I just saw Nick.
Oh my God.
yeah, she gave me my flu shot. She's a beast. I gave it. Yeah, there's Stefano's.
Yeah, they're sick.
It's so funny. Oh my God. Well, shit, guys. I mean, it's been 2 hours.
Bro, it's been over 2 hours.
Yeah.
I feel like that, though.
But, I mean,
Dude,
oh my God. This was like, I thought the first one was good.
We dumb
Like,
roasted the first
there
one.
was, this
We
was
dumb
like,
roasted the first
this
one.
was like, like, we didn't even, I think we got off on like maybe 2 tangents that like,
Went for hours.
didn't, like that didn't, feel like, I don't know. Dude, I have nothing to say.
Dude, I don't even remember
I have
what
no
we
words.
talked about.
Me either, man. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that was
It's
awesome.
about how it made us feel, man.
Dude,
Right?
about the
I felt
experience.
great.
Exactly.
I felt great.
exactly.
That's it, man.
This is
Tell
a
it. Tell it.
beautiful day.
My slogan right now is tell your story, talk your shit. Now I'm gonna add.
I
Make
thought
you,
it
make
was
you feel.
Bebop, don't
feel,
stop,
yeah.
Bobcast.
Well, that's the Bob slogan. That's the individual Bob slogan. Yeah.
Wait, what was your personal one?
What? No, it's for the podcast.
Oh, what is it?
Tell your story, talk your shit. Make you feel. Now I'm gonna add the feel
Make you
portion
feel
to it.
Dude, I respect that. Make you
That's
feel.
awesome.
Yeah.
Because
Tell your story,
you
talk
can
your shit,
talk your
make you
stuff,
feel.
but you'll remember it more when you feel it. You
Yeah.
gotta add passion to it.
Yep. And that's all we're doing. We're telling our stories, talking our shit, and hopefully making
Yeah.
people feel a certain way.
Yo, embrace uncertainty. Fall in love with the white water.
And buy the shirt.
Yeah.
So where can they find you at? What is that? Where's SLC?
strangelivingcollective.com. And yeah, it's a super long name, I know. But it's all about embracing the uncertainty. And just like shirts like this, it gives you that ability to almost relay a message to the next person seeing it. You know, you could walk down a street and they might see your shirt and subconsciously hold on to it. And then maybe throughout the day, something pops up and they go, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. You know, broadcast your feelings. Go after what your mind shows and figure out what you truly love.
Stefano, you got any last words?
I don't know.
Not to put you on the spot. I don't mean
No,
to.
I was really thinking, but like, yeah, like you're saying, go out, be positive, man. It's so easy.
And like
to
you
be
said from
positive.
yours, just create the experience for people if you
Create
can.
great experience. It's just so easy.
Go out of your way a little bit because it costs nothing.
It costs nothing.
Impact one person.
Smile at
Yep.
people. Say hi.
Yep. Use your energy and your time to help other people, and it'll always come back to you, right? Like
Yeah.
shit, man.
Like we were talking about before, body language. It's so easy to read somebody and be like, that person's
Yes.
probably having a shitty day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how you doing? Like,
Yep.
little shit like that goes a long
The
way.
guy on the bus when the bus is 10 minutes late, and he's like, "What the?" It's like, dude, something happened. Like it's like I'm.
Dude,
cool,
we're going
man.
to pull bar segue into another 3 hours.
No, we're getting the
All
fuck
right,
out
all
of here,
right.
ladies and gentlemen.
Much love.
Thank you so
I'm
much,
Nick.
guys.
This is
Appreciate it.
Stefano.
Appreciate it.
I'm Bob. You know me. I don't want to talk anymore.
Dude.
I just have to give him the bullshit.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime, guys. Thank
I
you
love
so
it.
much. Once again, BOPCAST. We are everywhere that podcasts are found. That's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Anchor app, and all the ones nobody uses, ladies and gentlemen. This has been another episode of BOPCAST. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.
See you.
Okay. Peace.